great day to be alive on this Thursday. Kyle Brust and Ortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust. Alongside the company man in his ESPN Wisconsin outfit, his name is Kyle Wallace. What's up, Kyle?
Feeling good. Feeling good.
That's good.
Colon's
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
What'd you say?
My colon's good.
Your colon is good. Good to hear. Oh,
Would've listened to my
he left
reaction.
show prep to go do his business.
No, well, you mentioned something about your colon.
I did. I don't like things tight around my waist because it makes it, hurt my tummy.
But you said your colon.
Yeah, my doctor, he did the knock thing around my tummy. He's like, that's the area you might have. Brad Nortman, longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl runner-up with no issues, healthy, in shape, eats well.
I couldn't imagine having as sensitive as a stomach as you guys have. For real.
Oh, what is this? You elitist stomach haver, you?
This is me kind of like
Mr.
talking
Perfect.
from a place of like I'm like looking down on you guys.
You are.
You are.
I'm like, I couldn't imagine that's a hard way to live. You guys sometimes, at a moment's notice, you just got up out of the meeting and said, I gotta go.
Well,
You don't ever have it at a moment's notice?
Almost never. I'm very regular.
That is the least shocking thing in the world. I literally had a discussion with teammates in the office today about
every
you.
Day. Yes.
And what do you think the conversation was about?
Routines?
Yes. We couldn't decide.
More like Brad.
We could not decide if you were a robot or a real person. And then I told some people, because it's on YouTube, it's on Wisconsin On Demand, a couple of the wonderful teammates we have were a little bit taken aback by the cuddle regimen that you have.
What's wrong with the cuddle regimen?
Can you take us through the cuddle regimen again?
I would love to. Wow,
I'd love to. Okay.
Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776. No Strophe, Chris Larson running the show. Catch us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. We will get to plenty of reaction from today's joint practice with the Baltimore Ravens and the Green Bay Packers. But first, Brad, tell us how weird you are.
Yeah, I'll take you guys into the bedroom with Lexi and I. And,
wow!
We'll keep it very PG though, right? So every night we go to
G.
We go to
let's keep it G
for you, Kyle.
How about Y?
We go to the bed
7 and under.
We go to bed at the same time every night, right? We almost never go to bed at different times. We get ready and all that kind of stuff. Then we nestle into bed. Usually I'm the first one in bed, right? As we talked about, because when I tried sleeping in the nude that one time, Lexi was unaware of it.
Where are your pants?
Caught her by surprise. What the heck? Where are your pants? So, but Lexi will usually nestle in next to me. I'm laying on my back. Lexi kind of does. We do the human pillow.
Keep it G, dude.
I'm telling you, I'm on my back, relaxing, pajamas on. Lexi has pajamas on. She nestles in on her side. I'm the human pillow, kind of like puts her legs between mine so that there's like a gap between the two, because that's supposed to like relax the lower back. So she does that.
So there's science behind the cuddling.
The reason behind it. There it is.
When I put like my body, like
it's
my
not
legs,
love, it's for their health.
through her legs, it relaxes the lower back. It feels good on her back. And we usually go there. We pray. We say goodnight. I love you. A kiss goodnight every night. And then we lay there for a little bit, usually after about 5 minutes. If one of us hasn't fallen asleep, we do the old pivot. And I used to call it, this is so funny, used to piss her off. I said, okay, Lexi, it's time for the great rotation. And we move
You're
around.
such a dork.
We move around and we do the great rotation to where like we flip all the way around. Then I'm looking her direction. I'm big spoon, little spoon. And then sure enough, we both fall asleep, peacefully quiet every night.
I'm just trying to figure out, so how did you find a study that said... what is the best way to be healthy going to bed?
Right?
Like, how do you stumble across we shoot our legs through this way because it's great for back support? And like, how do you find that?
You're a robot.
Our chiropractor in Charlotte, who I would go to all the time, like he was like my pregame guy.
Yeah.
Lexi would go to him too, and he was awesome. He was amazing. And he would say that if you put like a pillow between your legs, KBN Nation, you should try this tonight. Put a pillow between your legs, it really like releases stress in your back, and it's super comfortable. So I said, baby, I got a pillow for you. How about this body right here?
Oh.
And so I used it to work into snuggling, and now I find myself an invaluable, irreplaceable part of her bedtime routine.
So both of your backs are good then?
No, I don't do it. I don't do it.
She does. So, but her back, she feels like it helps her back.
Yeah.
That's why she can. Because I'm actually thinking about, as my back hurts now, I might, try the little pillow.
There are like specific, like between your leg pillows that are supposed to like form to your legs. I don't know about all that, but just get a pillow, put it between your legs, lay it on your side.
Have you gone to the depths of, if you are out of the house and traveling, have you made a carbon copy sized Brad Nortman for her to stick a leg through for her back support?
A doll?
Yeah, like a Brad doll.
I will say, no, we haven't gotten there yet. We need like a body-sized pillow. You can get like those like 6-foot-long pillows. That's what we got to do. I can't let her get too comfortable, though, without me. That's the thing, though. I want to keep her like a little bit like uncomfortable so that when I come back, it's like,
hey, baby.
Hey, baby. She said, oh, there's my pillow. I will say this, though. When Lexi's out of town and I sleep by myself, I don't sleep as good. That's a fact. That after 10 years, I don't sleep as good.
800-990-3776. Brad's a weirdo. Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. And, I'll give some shouts to the hardworking reporters and bloggers that we have covering the Green Bay Packers, because what I came to realize is Kyle Wallace was working very, very hard at the office today, and he did not have time, maybe like many of you listening, to scroll on the Twitter feed.
A lot of
Twitter
air checks
X.
today. A lot of air checks and meetings.
Yeah, well, no one cares about that other than the fact that you did not see the updates in real time from the Green Bay Packers joint practice. You were very demonstrative in your position about how the Green Bay Packers played poorly against the Broncos. So I am going to read a couple of tweets
I've been waiting an hour for
updates
this.
from the Green Bay Packers joint practice.
Must be good, baby. Must be good. Don't set me up, Chris.
Josh Jacobs' red zone run goes nowhere.
Oh, okay. That's not good.
Dobbs with a sick red zone route.
Touchdown.
It's nearly unstoppable unless you're Jair Alexander yesterday. The Ravens, however, do not have a Jair Alexander. It's an easy touchdown for Romeo Dobbs.
Romeo's going to have a big year. He's going to have a really big year. Going up again. Iron sharpens iron. That's exactly what Jair and Dobbs have done.
This is all Andy Herman right now on Twitter X. Love to watch it on the sidelines of the end zone for a jump ball TD. Offense starting to heat up.
Uh-oh.
Quote tweeted himself over Kyle Hamilton, by the way.
Oh. Kyle Hamilton is a stud. Yeah.
Dobbs just ran a different route to the same spot and beat Stevens again. Another touchdown.
Bow. Look at him. Them boys cooking today. That's what I want to hear.
Per the Athletic, Packers defensive line is feasting like Thanksgiving in the red zone period right now. Lamar is running for his life out here, and not by design.
Yeah.
Devontae Wyatt meets Justice Hill in the backfield.
Okay. Is King Henry not playing?
Some of these are ones, some of these are twos.
Okay,
but Devontae Wyatt, Devontae Wyatt with a good thing here. Same drill for the Ravens offense. Kenny Clark starts with a sack.
Got him.
Timeout, Ravens.
They took a timeout.
Timeout, baby.
John said, what is going on? What the hell is going on out there? He channeled Vince Lombardi, huh?
Well, I mean, this is a 2-minute drill, so they're trying to preserve time to make sure.
Got it.
Lamar fires in a completion to Lively. Bullard closes quick, but Lively made the catch. Clock ticks. Lamar completes to the sideline out of bounds. 4th down. Lamar finds a check down for a first down. Lamar to Justice Hill again on a check down. Clock ticks. Lamar to Bateman on a crosser. Lots of time coming off. First down, spike. 10 seconds left. No timeouts because of the Kenny Clark sack.
Yep.
Pow! Great coverage and pressure by the D-line. Lamar has to throw it away. 3 seconds left. Justin Tucker on for a massive kick. 60-plus. It's a miss. Packers defense
Tucker misses.
wins.
Must be something in the air out there in Green Bay.
Yeah,
might not
real.
be our kicker.
You ready for this, Kyle? We've been all talking about the kicker situation. Carlson hits his 51-yard field goal to tie the game in the red zone period.
Banger.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. That's a banger.
Today, Carlson 5 for 5.
Okay.
Joseph 3 for 4. Anders Carlson officially in percentage. 82%, climbing up.
That's
Well,
still trash,
he's getting hot.
But hot at the right time.
That's trash.
Greg Joseph, 57 for 73. He dips below 80%. Anders Carlson in the driver's seat right now
Greg
for
getting cut.
the Green Bay Packers.
It's Anders' job. If he makes his kicks in the game, it's his job.
And an overall summary, again, got to shout out Andy Herman here for his updates. Outside of the love pick to Roquan, I thought the Packers were fantastic today. Red zone periods were massively impressive. Great day of practice, 2.5 hours long for the Packers and Ravens. John Harbaugh. I always struggle with the Harbaugh name. John Harbaugh.
I think it's Harbaugh.
Harbaugh. There it is.
Got it.
Like this was a whole bit on the last show. I couldn't say Harbaugh.
Well, you should have listened to Kelly O'Kelly. Mrs. Kelly O'Kelly, your teacher from the 3rd grade, or you probably be able to read that name.
Reading out loud.
It's just phonics.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Phonics.
Hooked on phonics.
Yes, sir.
Should have been doing that when I was younger.
Or listening to the way people...
He praised Bob Harlan for the great facilities that the Green Bay Packers have as they traveled out to Green Bay and, just shedding more light into what great facilities and great area it is to hold. I'm adding this part of the 2025 NFL Draft.
Hey, we'll be there.
How you feeling, Kyle?
Feeling good, actually. I'm feeling really good. This is exactly what I wanted to hear last week. Like last week, you're hearing a lot of negativity with the Green Bay Packers not being able to execute, not being able to find the rhythm we talked about. So seeing them be able to bounce back, this is what we want to see, right? Because we saw the Green Bay Packers last year struggle to start the season, and we saw how they responded at the end of the season when they grew. So what I really wanted to see is how this team will respond when they had another opportunity to compete against somebody. Their first string had an opportunity to compete against a team with the Baltimore Ravens, who are probably a higher team when it comes to Super Bowl aspirations than the Green Bay Packers behind Lamar Jackson, who's been an MVP in this league. So this is what you want to hear is the Green Bay Packers executing their offense, the Green Bay Packer defense putting 11 hats to the ball, Green Bay Packers defensive line swarming. We want to hear these positive things. That makes me more optimistic about the football season coming up here.
Yeah, this is exactly what you wanted to see. I was so curious how this team in general was going to respond to adversity. Everything last week was just characterized by adversity, whether it be getting dominated in the practice, getting shellacked in the game. If you're the twos, I know there was twos versus ones, but when the twos even came in for the Broncos, it was embarrassing. So when I look at this team, last year they responded to adversity, and they did it in flourishing fashion. How is this version of the team going to respond to adversity? First bout with adversity, check, done, did it. So it's love to see it. And against another contender, also a big deal. So this couldn't have gone better for the Green Bay Packers today. Love to see it.
And I love all of KBN Nation, including Ron and the Key, who listens every second of his life. But this is what I don't like about someone like a Ron and the Key. Because in Ben's same game parlay yesterday that I made Ben's best bet of the day, the Brewers minus 103 to win the ball game, he asked me to do the play-by-play of Devin Williams' outing yesterday, and I just think that's the wrong type of fan. Because he bet the Cardinals. That's the thing. He bet the Cardinals.
How do you know he bet the Cardinals?
He told me. And so he is happy. He had plus 1.5. He's like, if the Brewers win by 1, it's great. But he's not mad that the Brewers lost by 4 on a grand slam walk-off to end the game. And if I was frustrated, because I can do it, ball. Walked in a run.
Yeah, that was
ball. Tie game. Home run. Grand slam.
It was a painful
Did you watch the
events?
end?
I did.
So sad.
I was getting updates.
It was a great game, but
it seemed like it from the updates I was getting.
And here's what I will say is they won 6 straight. They have 11 game lead in the NL Central. You're going to lose some ball games.
Oh yeah,
and I think Devin Williams pitched a lot the last week or so. This is part of baseball. So suck it, Ron, for being a bad fan. But Kyle's happy. Brad is like the way that they responded to adversity after the joint practice. And remember when I told you I don't care because it was a preseason game with 31 starters and a joint practice where their guard was let down? This Packers team has enough guys that have proven they can get through adversity. They were 2-5 last year in a real season that I was never going to hit the panic button from a bad week of training camp. There is so much more to do this entire year than to wallow like Kyle Wallace did last Friday. 800-990-3776. We'll continue to get your reaction, update you from what was the Green Bay Packers' last open practice. Think about this. Last open practice. They play a preseason game Saturday, final roster cuts on Tuesday, and boom, bang, bop, bada bop, boop, pow. They are playing the Eagles in a real game coming to you shortly. More next on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
And make sure everyone's tuning in when we do this, because y'all's faces are going to be like,
it better be sweet.
If you think I'm going to act like that for oatmeal, you're outside your damn
You've never
mind.
had Brad Nortman's oatmeal.
It's not Quaker,
but I've
is
also had
it?
chocolate chip pancakes with butter
organic.
and syrup that make me go, oh, baby, oatmeal ain't going to do that.
You'll be surprised. I'm going to do a variety.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Sam Steiner is joining me. How important is it that actual surgery is viewed as a last option?
The way we always want to treat people is try and do something least invasive to get people where they want to be. And in some cases, that means talking to them, setting them up with a therapist, explaining what they have going on. And in other cases, if it comes to it, then yes, it means operating on them.
When you're dealing with very active people, how do you help them handle the entire process of recovery?
The hardest part with some patients is explain to them that even though you feel great, you do have to have a period where you lay off. You adhere to precautions and protocol. But I think when you take a person, you have them do the least invasive procedure. That's what we want to do, is we want to be forefront, cutting edge, doing the least invasive possible to get people back onto a protocol that gets them back into the activity they want to do the fastest.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
A.J. Dillon missed the final month of last season after suffering a stinger against the Vikings. He's now suffering the same injury after getting hurt in the joint practice against the Broncos, which forced him to miss the preseason game last weekend. Head coach Matt LaFleur isn't taking any chances with his backup running back.
I think anytime you have a repeated injury, absolutely there's a concern, but I think we're being cautious with him and just making sure we gather all the information before we let him go back out there.
The Packers take on the Baltimore Ravens in a joint practice today before their preseason tilt on Saturday.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
First time building your own nest? Call Tri-City. We'll do the rest. Our hometown lenders will put you at ease. Your home building process will be a breeze. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
What seems to be a successful little joint practice for the Green Bay Packers today against the Baltimore Ravens, per some of the reports we're hearing. Jason Wilde will be joining us around 3:15. He will give some insight as well. Kyle Bruss and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. What'd you think of my hula hooping on the YouTube stream, Brad?
It was a sight to see.
I did it, though.
You got it.
I couldn't do it for the 5 times before the show.
You couldn't get it before the show. Before you caught lightning in a bottle, you couldn't get it. Then you got it, and you're like, I'm doing it, Brad. And then
That's literally what I said.
The child who just got the
Dad, look at me, Dad of the show.
I will say I'm gonna give it a try next break. Challenge accepted. I don't know. Are these hula hoops regulation size and weight? They feel light.
They do feel light.
I think they're light.
I
think
can't
that's why
recall.
we can't get them going.
Me being a childless man, I'm not around too many hula hoops, so I don't really know.
But you hula hooped as a kid, right?
Yeah, I haven't been a kid in a very long time, Bradley.
That's not a core memory for you?
No, I don't think hula hooping was a core memory for a lot of us.
What are your? I'm just kidding. 800-99
Play a video game.
800-990-3776.
Smell like sub sandwiches.
That's an interesting one.
Oh, we all.
My
smell
core
like
memory
subs.
as a child is smelling like a sub sandwich.
When you went outside, you didn't shower for a day. You didn't stank. Okay.
Core memories, right there from Kyle Wallace.
That was a stank one.
Chris, what are your core memories?
None of that stuff. I can tell you that much.
Thank you. So this is a Brad Nortmanism idea here, and I love it because despite the fact that I just mentioned that Carlson Anders was 5 for 5 in field goal kicking today, and he upped his percentage to 82% in the preseason training camp, all of that. Who wouldn't you trade on the Green Bay Packers for Justin Tucker?
Well, I'm trying to
800-990-3776 because having a kicker, in my opinion, is a weapon. It is a weapon. Punter, kicker, weapon.
Yeah, and like in our discussion today, I said I would trade a 3rd-round draft pick for Justin Tucker today.
Oh, wow.
Third
He
round
missed a
draft
60-yard field goal, and yes, we're just trading
Come
for
on,
him.
62-yard field goal in practice. I'm not worried about it. His resume says everything I need to know about who he is and what he can
You want
make.
Anders all season?
No, I don't.
No.
And I got to give credit to Tausch, for Wilde and Tausch this morning for having this conversation too. But look, to me, I would
pick some names.
Okay.
Obviously, we're not trading Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander, Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade those. I would trade one of the 4 receivers.
Oh, my God.
I would. They're
One
all
of the 4
because
receivers?
then you still have 3 left over and an elite kicker.
Put it on Twitter at KBN ESPN. Brad Nortman would trade one of the 4 receivers for Justin Tucker. Do you agree or disagree?
Because would
you do it or not do it?
What are you missing out on?
Are you so
you can only have so many receivers on the field at once anyway.
Bradley Nortman.
It's guaranteed
if
points,
Reed
Kyle.
Turned out to be a all-pro slot wide receiver gadget guy. And we look back in, 4 years ago, say this is 2024 and it's 2028. He's all these great things. And we look back, they would say Goody is the worst general manager ever in sports for trading this future all-pro guy for a 34-year-old kicker.
Not if you get 5 years of elite kicking. Kyle, think about getting to the 45.
You were literally crying your eyes out after Anders missed.
Think about getting.
I got 6.
Kyle, if you get to the 45-yard line with Justin Tucker, it's points. Think about that. You almost crossed the 3 first downs on any given possession. Jordan Love can get me 3 first downs in any position starting at the 30-yard line.
Play.
Yeah, and
Jaden Reed gets touchdowns. He's the one you can throw the ball to get you
lost in the NFC Championship game due to the inconsistencies of said kicker.
Listen, I'm not trading away one of those top 4 wide receivers. Not even Christian Watson, who we have a rocky relationship.
You can't put them all on the field at the same time on most formations, so you might as well use one of them for trade leverage to get another elite. It's the biggest need of the team. Let's be honest. Kicker is the biggest need on this team. Am I wrong?
Well, it is a glaring hole. But
what's a bigger need? What's a bigger need than kicker?
A bigger need than kicker, I guess, is inside linebacker.
Cornerback depth.
Well, cornerback number 2, being able to see what they have. Inside linebacker position, again, is a lot of unknowns.
Would you trade
on
Eric
defense.
Stokes?
Hell yeah.
You would trade Eric Stokes for Justin Tucker?
Yes.
I would do that too.
Put Valentine in there.
Dang, you said both of them. Wait, now calm down, Brad.
No.
No.
Like
Put him in.
Dang, that's a Go ahead, keep throwing everybody
throw
in
in
there.
a second wide receiver.
Now, Eric Stokes, because I feel like there isn't that big of a gap between Eric Stokes and between Carrington Valentine. I don't see Eric Stokes having the potential that one of those 4 receivers that we have unless he really steps up and is really good this year. But, yeah, I can move on from Eric Stokes and get Justin Tucker. But one of those receivers, there's too much potential to do that. Maybe the guys behind him, or maybe, I'd probably trade Tucker Kraft for him.
I would trade Tucker Kraft for him.
Yeah, but
you could trade Kraft or Musgrave. And then again, you have another guy in there.
On Twitter, at KBN ESPN, Chris Larson running the show. Hard worker. It's like he doesn't have to do a show before ours. It's great how quickly he moves back there. Today's poll, at Brad Nortmanisms, would trade one of the Packers' 4 receivers for Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. Would you do it?
Brad's going to get killed. They're going to kill Brad.
Bring it early in the voting. Brad's winning. Very.
Brad voted. You're going to get destroyed, Brad.
Yeah. Vote.
You know what they're going to say? This guy is an idiot. He must have never played in the NFL before. And I'm going to say, nope, he's a kicker himself. He punted in the NFL.
Josh DiMaggio.
Oh, wow. Yeah, get it right, Kyle.
So I can't call you just a kicker? You have
to
be...
Yes, very specific.
You kicked in the NFL.
No, I punted. Josh DiMaggio, producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, chimes in to Brad's statement that he would trade one of the 4 wide receivers that the Packers have, not Malik Heath or Grant DeBose or Bo Melton.
Yeah, tripping. One of the top 4.
Josh DiMaggio chimes in, I'd trade a couple of footballs, some kicking tees, and a box of protein bars. Nothing more.
Dang, wow, that's disrespectful.
I want Josh DiMaggio.
He notes
to
that is
chime
intended specialist slander.
I feel the slander. I want him to chime in when the game is on the line. And if I don't want this to happen, but if Carlson misses a kick, you're just thinking, well, there's a full victory that we could have had.
He kicked 80% last year and missed 6 or 7 extra points.
How many games this year will be dictated on the foot of the Green Bay Packer kicker?
Oh, at least 4.
At least think about that.
That's a quarter of the season. You're smart.
Yeah, that's a little under quarter of the season. Think about that. A quarter of your season will be dictated on the 3 points of the foot of your kicker. You cannot have an elite one. That's why they pay him and Butker and all these guys.
You do realize you can't not have an elite one. The Green Bay Packers did it all last season.
Can't have it. And
it hurt them.
I understand
when
that,
it matters.
Imagine if they won a couple more games and had a better seed, maybe has some home field advantage.
This is so ridiculous because you're trading somebody, and a kicker is a very important position, but you're trading somebody that regardless, they're still going to be. Justin Tucker's missed big kicks before, right?
Yeah, but it's not likely.
You can't trade away a guy like a Christian Watson or a Romeo Dobbs, even consider that, for Justin Tucker, somebody who sits on the sideline and eats sunflower seeds while everybody else is out there.
We're getting a little bit more votes coming in, Kyle.
He might do that, but when he does go out there, dude,
I love Justin Tucker. I am. I'm a big fan of him.
Don't do that. Don't say that.
Gosh.
You can't
I love him.
But he eats sunflower seeds and he's not worth anything.
Who was the first person to take a kicker in our fantasy draft? Me. This guy. It was Justin Tucker. I love me some Justin Tucker. But at the end of the day, I think
this ain't fantasy. This is winning football
games. This is reality.
Games.
And Reed, Dobbs, Watson, and Wicks, I would take all those guys over Tucker.
Well, when it's a fourth quarter and it's about to be a game-winning field goal, I'm going to text you, Kyle Wallace. I'm going to say, how you feeling?
What is the kicker going to do? What's the kicker going to do when we down 5 points and we need a touchdown?
Jordan Love.
Christian Watson's going to be sitting on the sideline hurt, and Justin Tucker could be in our arms.
You have Jordan Love, who should elevate any wide receiver. Look what Jordan Love did with Bo Melton for a couple games last year. It's plug and play, and you still have 3 great receivers.
Already up to 50 votes. 65% of people say no. 35% of people say yes. 800-990-3776.
Had the right result.
Hey! 800-990-3776. I'm trying to get our KBN Nation involved, and you be yapping. Would you trade one of the 4 top wide receivers of the Green Bay Packers for Justin Tucker? Man, I don't hate this idea at all. I really do value the kicker position because it drove me nuts even before Anders when Mason Crosby, although was very consistent, couldn't kick a 50-plus yarder.
Can I also say that in 2 years, we're not going to have all 4 anyway? Because we can't afford all of them. You literally have 2 years together with this cast of crew. You can have Justin Tucker for 5 years of elite kicking.
I prefer us to try to find an elite kicker than trading somebody like one of these 4 receivers.
And who's going to find him? Because Goody doesn't have a great track record of drafting special teamers. He drafted a long snapper. He drafted J.K. Scott. Not with the team.
I'm hopeful.
And Anders kicking at an 82% clip.
I'm hopeful. I just saw a kicker.
Hope is not a strategy.
A kicker got traded here. You shouldn't be mad.
Yeah, and he's a good kicker. The Packers maybe consider doing that.
You should be more upset with Josh and that disrespect that he put towards you.
I am. I'm not happy with him.
He charged up your entire career in your life. Everything you dedicated your life to. That
he would have traded you for a bag of balls.
A bag of balls and some tees.
It's not my fault with a bad trade.
You can get
bad
from Dunham
from
Sports.
Josh. I don't need to prove nothing to Josh. He knows who the real dudes are. And he's going to want an elite kicker when his Green Bay Packers are down 2 points and it's a 50-yard field goal. Then I want to know who the real valuable people on the team are.
Some guys should have listened to Brad. We should have traded Christian Watson for Justin Tucker.
Yep. Oh, my gosh. That's going to be more insufferable than you after a Packers loss on a Monday.
That's true, because you know he's going to stand on it.
Oh, he's going to stand all over this. He protects his specialists. Chris Larson running the show, no Alex Strofe, which means everyone's favorite segment just got even better. Becoming relevant is already relevant. And then we hit over-under. Next, don't go anywhere. It's Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Ben, I've been a fan of you since Scalzo and Brust was on the air. You kind of are like a Pat McAfee for the ESPN Milwaukee. You kind of revolutionized this channel and stuff.
Leo, I'm here for you, and I appreciate everything you say. We love you listening, and you can call in every day and say that. I won't get old.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Sunday. It's racing season at the legendary Great Lakes Dragaway, and our schedule of events is ready. We've still got our yearly holiday weekend races like Labor Day weekend, plus Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, and Night of Fire. You can also book corporate and private events. Take advantage of our season-long passes and even schedule a time to take your car down the legendary quarter mile. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for pricing and info. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? Driving high will get you a DUI. And if you're wondering if law enforcement can tell you're driving high, well, everyone else can. Friends?
I can tell you drove high.
Parents?
I can tell when you drive high.
Relatives?
I can tell. You drove here high, didn't you?
So what makes you think law enforcement can't?
I can tell.
If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Who's ready to save a bucket load at Fleet Farm? Just buy one of our signature 5-gallon buckets for $3.99 and get 15% off anything that fits inside it. Save on the best brands in fishing, hunting, and power tools. Save on pet supplies, snacks, and more. Any qualifying products that fit in the bucket are 15% off now through August 28th. Our bucket sale is just another great way to save on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your higher love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at findhigherlove.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Finally, warmer weather, green grass, birds chirping. Don't spend your weekend surrounded by all that junk. Get your free, no obligation, same day estimate from Two Men and a Junk Truck. You'll restore your sanity and reclaim your space when Two Men and a Junk Truck pulls in your driveway. Visit twomenandajuncktruck.com for your free, no obligation estimate today.
Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The love for specialists, it's fading fast on Twitter. X at KBN ESPN. Today's poll question, Brad Nortman would trade one of the Packers' top 4 wide receivers for Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. Would you do it? Now getting into the meat of the votes. 28% say yes, 72% say no.
Do we drug test here at GKB?
I stand by it. I think it makes all the sense in the world.
You didn't answer his question. 800-990-3776. Tony TC chimes in. Josh DiMaggio is wrong. Kyle Wallace is wrong. I'd trade anyone but Jordan Love. The average loss in the NFL is 3.5 points. Kicking is important. Football people are just too stupid and think it's not macho enough. Points are points, baby. We were so spoiled with Crosby.
Let him know, TC. That's speaking truth right there.
Adam and Cudahy, 800-990-3776. You're up.
All right, spoken like a true specialist, huh? You would trade one of our receivers.
Proud specialist.
Wow. Okay, so here's the thing. You trade one, okay, and let's just say it's not Christian Watson. And then Christian Watson goes down again, like we, assume he might miss some time. Well, now you're left with 2. Okay? And so all of a sudden the surplus is cut in half of wide receivers, all right? And I don't know. I'd rather look back at this time and be like, wow, look at all those great receivers we had. That's why we won the Super Bowl, and not, we traded for a kicker. That's what did it. Yeah.
I get that, but you still have 2 really good receivers if that's the case. You still got 2 capable tight ends, likely a healthy running back, and if Marshawn Lloyd comes back, also healthy. And I just think that, look, you have a 2-year window with all of these wide receivers, and then 1 or more will be gone. You just can't keep them all. But you can have an opportunity to get 5 great years of elite kicking. I trust Jordan Love to be able to elevate wide receivers around him. And then if you can get to the 40-yard line,
and thank you, Adam, for the call. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good call. Good call.
I just want to provide some background to what was the Super Bowl last year. Kansas City Chiefs 25, San Francisco 49ers 22. I go in the box score and I see a very, very, very interesting box score. The Kansas City Chiefs, Harrison Butker, 4 for 4 with a long of 57, 1 for 1 in extra points. Jake Moody, 3 for 3 with a long of 55. There were a total of 7 field goals made in a game that was a slugfest until Patrick Mahomes found Mecole Hardman for the game-winning touchdown. Just providing context.
That's almost half the point.
No, it's important. It definitely is important.
Carrie and Racine, 800-990-3776. You are up.
I definitely would not trade one of our young wide receivers for a kicker. I think Carlson is going to do much better. He's learning. He's a kicking family. He just went 5 for 5. I think it would be silly.
Well, thank you for the call, Carrie. That's just a lot of optimism and a lot of hope, in my opinion, because he's had a training camp in which he's matching his totals of a regular season. And I'm no expert on kicking here, Brad.
Are you in the same? Are you with Brad on this? Are you with Brad? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm just stirring the pot today.
You know what the thing is?
Party just with Brad.
You know what the thing is? I don't even think Baltimore would accept the trade. I don't think they would. I think they'd say, You can keep your wide receivers because what are we going to do? We can't replace Justin Tucker.
No, they'll say we already
and
have
he's
our
critical.
guys. If it was a position of need for them that they truly need to get somebody,
But if these wide receivers are so great, then someone would make room for them. They'd be a starting wide receiver 1 or 2 on some team.
Love and Football would trade A.J. Dillon for a kicker today.
Yeah, I mean, most people would, right? Because he's replaceable, and that's the biggest thing. Is
he's the King Henry backup.
Kickers can be found, right? Like the kicker position can definitely be found. Now, I understand that Goody has not been able to successfully find a kicker as of last year, and I don't know if Anders is going to be the guy this year based off his training camp so far. I'll give him this. He played well today, so maybe he's turned the corner. We will see.
Think about this, okay?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, me too.
Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots, okay? Those are the last 2 NFL dynasties. Both of them had elite kickers, okay? And they paid and kept their kickers. They did not pay and keep their receivers.
Hold
on. No. That's actually a good point. It was the New England Patriots
had
philosophy.
Had
Edelman, Wes Welker. I thought you were talking about guys that they kept cycling.
Cycling through. And then they had Adam Vinatieri for their first wave, Steven Gostkowski for their second wave. And he was amazing, excellent, all pro. The Kansas City Chiefs, they let Tyreek Hill go. And they signed and made Harrison Butker the most valuable kicker in NFL history this last week.
Yeah, he did. No, man.
And those are the 2 best teams in the NFL the last
You don't want to
25
model
years.
yourself after these dynasties?
No, I don't want to model myself after these 2 dynasties because they did that because they understood what they already had in their quarterback and they understood what they had in their roster as well. Right now, we are still trying to figure out what we have, and I'm not willing to risk giving up the future of one of these guys that could turn into a Tyreek Hill type guy for a kicker and Justin Tucker. I trust that the Green Bay Packers could just draft or sign or find somebody who could be a capable kicker here. We're not asking for somebody who's going to kick, 90% field goals accuracy. We're just looking for somebody to give us 85% and maybe only miss 2 or 3.
That's such a bad bar to set.
Give the best.
800-990-3776. I don't know if Adam is in the ESPN Wisconsin Fantasy League of Kyle Bruston-Nortman, but he says he'll be sending Brad a trade request in fantasy since he values kickers so much.
Who's my kicker? Oh, I got Harrison Butker. I'm good.
Wow.
No, I got Harrison Butker. I'm good.
I was going to say.
I won't accept anyone else.
You don't want Justin Tucker? You want both?
I like the Chiefs' offense more.
Okay.
I think he's going to score more points.
Okay.
Honestly, it's a horse apiece. If I would add Harrison Butker in there, I would trade one of our 4 wide receivers for Harrison Butker too.
Man, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
You're not crazy because you usually help people find a great way to win using 1 or 2 words.
Underdog fantasy?
Higher or lower?
Higher or lower on Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy Sports, that's exactly what Ben is talking about, and I'm telling y'all this right now. You want to join in on the fun as the NFL season is here, right? You want to make sure that when you watch these games, you have a little bit more into it, right? And you can do that with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. And what I love about it, it is so easy to play. This is what happens. You basically go to your app store and you sign up on the Underdog Fantasy app, or you go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Once you do that, you go in there and you select higher or lower on player stats from multiple teams, and if your picks hit, you can win big time money. I'm telling y'all this right now. It makes watching football so much more fun with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. So right now, what I want you to do is I want you to download the Underdog Fantasy app from your app store or visit UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up using promo code KBN. That is promo code KBN, and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first pick'em entry plus a deposit offer. That's promo code KBN, and you can join me this football season and win big. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
What we are going to do next is something we always do, and I think we've been on fire against Alex Strofe, but Chris Larson's running the show today. It's over-under coming up next, so we're going to need caller 6 and caller 9, a chance to win a $50 gift card. Someone's going to walk away with it, actually, because the way this works, caller 6, you're going to get a category from Chris and an over-under. Kyle, Brad, myself, we team up to get as many right answers out of 10 to try and hit that over because we're striving for greatness. You choose if you believe in us or if you don't believe in us. I think it's been the Franklin family.
Yeah,
last 3 weeks, it's been the Franklins. Caller 6, caller 9, 800-990-3776. 800-990-3776. Over under coming up next on Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
I'm about being young, wild, and free.
No, you're not.
You're
not young, wild, and free.
Yeah, I am young.
You're not that.
I am
Every time I ask
wild.
you to do something, I check with a girlfriend.
Wait, why are you taking? Why are you going personal? Why you gotta talk about business? I can still be free with a lady.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman from ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Bruston Nortman, inviting you to join 94.5 ESPN's KBN as we broadcast live from the brand new Tsunami Express Car Wash in Midtown Milwaukee at the intersection of Fond du Lac Avenue and Capitol Drive on August 23rd from 2 to 5 p.m. At Tsunami Express Car Wash, expect nothing but the best with unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and right now get a free car wash. Catch me and the KBN boys live on August 23rd from 2 to 5 p.m. at Tsunami Express. Learn more at TsunamiExpress.com.
Looking for that ultimate game day hangout during football season? Welcome to Magoo's on the Mound, now open at 11 a.m. Tuesday through Sunday. With 13 TVs, you won't miss a moment of the action. Enjoy our free 100-square pool with amazing prizes and a complimentary halftime buffet. Plus, we've got great drink specials to keep you cheering. And don't forget, we offer shuttles to and from all Milwaukee baseball games. Magoo's on the Mound, where green and gold fans gather and where every game day is a win.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
The process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy and easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
Looking for a better used car interest rate? At Ewald, we make it easy to save thousands during the used car rate reduction event. Get rates as low as 4.9% on Ewald Automotive Group's best used cars. 4.9% on over 600 vehicles at 10 locations. Increase your purchase power with a better used car from the name Milwaukee has trusted for 60 years. Don't wait. Get a better rate. Available to very well qualified customers. Up to $20,000 financed for up to 48 months. See dealer for details. Offer ends August 31st.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Wait. Skechers put the S in comfort?
Yes, comfort you have to feel to believe. Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Let me try. Okay, I'm just stepping in and... Oh, wow. Skechers put the S in comfort.
Duh. We told you.
Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Transform your home in one weekend with paint from Menards. Get a paint that combines durability and gorgeous color. Dutch Boys DuraClean Interior Paint and Primer in One offers Stay Clean technology, making your home stay beautiful and clean longer. With Dutch Boys Easy Opening Smooth Pouring Container, transforming your home has never been easier. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and head into Menards to get your paint project started today.
Save big money at Menards.
Catholic Memorial Football is back this Friday.
Inside the 30, he's going to be gone. You cannot catch that speed. MJ Mitchell all the way into the end zone.
The Crusaders return to action on ESPN Milwaukee Friday night with a big-time matchup against Franklin. Crusaders football is presented by R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and DM Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30, right here on 94.5 ESPN or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The votes are piling up for today's Twitter X poll at KBN ESPN. Brad Nortman would trade one of the Packers' top 4 wide receivers for Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. Would you do it? 35% of people say yes.
That's very respectable.
That's respectable.
Should be more.
It is. You yourself thought Brad made some really good points in the break, so now you can.
I never said that.
What'd you say?
Nothing like that. If it didn't happen on air.
He said that Tyreek Hill was traded from the Kansas City Chiefs, got voted the #1 player of his peers in the top 100, and they won another Super Bowl.
Yeah, prove.
And they kept their kicker.
Prove I think it's a good idea. Can't.
And Brad, I saw a text here at 800-990-3776. It's Kyle Bruston Nortman. We have our ESPN Wisconsin Fantasy League, and somebody said, I'm going to send Brad a trade request in fantasy since he values kickers so much. Did this person follow through?
Yes, he did on our ESPN Fantasy Football League, the KBN League. First place, Brad. That's my team. I'm putting that out there.
You don't know what first place is.
I'm going to be. I will not for this season. I'm determined to be
not
first
if you
place.
keep valuing kickers like this.
Adam's astonishing team tried to trade me. I have DJ Moore, the wide receiver for the Chicago Bears, and he offered Will Lutz, the kicker for the Denver Broncos.
Well, you should have said yes. That's an easy one. DJ Scrub Moore from the Bears.
He ain't no Justin Tucker, and Denver's offense come out.
Oh, so you're saying you would trade Justin Tucker
if I didn't have Harrison Butker, I'd consider it.
Oh, stop it. You a liar.
I'd consider it.
As Kyle say, you a lie.
In fantasy football, no, kickers don't. But in real football, this is real football. I'd consider it.
Let's get to over-under.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over Under on Kyle Bruston Nortman.
It is Over Under on Kyle Bruston Nortman, where Brad, Kyle, and myself, we get 10 guesses to get as many right answers as possible based off of Chris Larson's category, who's in for Alex Strofe. Chris, you have an over-under and a category. Eric and Madison believes in KBN is in on the over. Mitch and Stoughton stuck on the other side. He's on the other. One of them is going to walk away as a winner of a $50 gift card. Chris, what is our category and our over-under?
Before we get to that, I will say Mitch and Stoughton liked the fact that he got the under for this one as well. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
So what today's category is the last 10 different teams the Packers have played to open the regular season. The last 10 different teams the Packers have played to open the regular season, because obviously they played one team a couple times over the last years. So the last 10 different teams the Packers have played to open the regular season, over under 6.5.
Well, obviously, let's start with last year.
Ready to go?
We are good to go.
In 3, 2, 1, clock starts.
The Chicago Bears' final answer.
Yep.
They also
the Packers have opened against the Bears in 2023, 2019, 2018, 2015, 2009, and 2006. The way this list goes
way back.
Yep.
You might go do the whole NFC North.
Well, we know this. We know the Saints.
Saints.
We do know
New Orleans Saints final.
They opened against the Saints in 2021 and 2011.
Hang on. What was the over-under?
6.5.
Was the Vikings the Christian Watson game?
Yes.
Are we sure this first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris,
You're talking about different teams.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying when he dropped the opening pass.
Bomb, yeah.
Vikings final.
The Minnesota Vikings, they opened the season against in 2022, 2020, 2008, and 2003.
Okay, I got one.
I can't keep up with the writing.
Jacksonville Jaguars 2016.
Oh, wow.
Played in it.
Correct.
Ooh.
How about that?
Insider trading.
That is insider trading.
Also, if we're going back that far, I remember going to
2
see
minutes.
at Lambeau Philadelphia Eagles in Mason Crosby's first game in 2007. So Philadelphia Eagles.
Final answer.
They opened against the Eagles this season, 2010 and 2007.
So that's 5.
I mean, the Lions we put over there. I'm trying to think.
Did they play the Seahawks to open the year one time? Or no.
No, but they were a
four?
team that I thought of.
Do you remember who they played when they won the Super Bowl the next year? By any chance?
To open the season?
Remember how
when they went 15-1?
Yeah.
Big game usually. Put them in a good spot.
Yeah. I don't know.
They never. I feel like they don't open against the Cowboys. Too marquee. Not the Texans. The Titans. Nah. Colts? Did we ever open against the Colts? Nah. You guys are throwing names.
Giants, Jets.
We played Jets early on.
What about Falcons? What about
the Falcons are probably a good guess. The Buccaneers. The Buccaneers.
1 minute.
Because the Buccaneers are definitely.
We played them twice one year in 2019. Who did they open 2019 with?
Can we just put the Lions and just see?
Yeah, might as well do the Lions.
Lions final.
They opened against the Lions in 2005.
Jeez, that goes far back.
Well,
NFC teams would be likely.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't feel like they.
Commanders, Giants, Eagles. We have Cowboys.
I feel like the
30
49ers
seconds.
Are
Falcons final.
They opened against the Falcons in 2002.
That's 7.
Buccaneers.
That's 7. You guys won.
7.
Buccaneers
Keep going.
final.
7 for 7.
Oh, wow.
49ers.
I feel like the 49ers would be
They opened
yeah.
against the 49ers in 2013 and 2012.
10.
Well, we got 8 of 9. We hit
Yeah.
the over. So congrats to Eric and Madison.
Who took the under?
Well,
Happy
he didn't.
Hey, yeah, baby.
Just to finish off the list here, so you got the Bears, you got the Vikings, you got the Saints, Seattle Seahawks, 2017 and 2014.
Yeah, we would have won.
Jaguars you got, San Francisco you got, Philadelphia you got, Lions you got, and the Carolina Panthers in 2004.
Oh, that's way back.
We would have got this.
Brad, you played for the Panthers. You're supposed to be a historian of those teams.
I should have known.
You didn't when you got.
You didn't get Jacksonville.
Mitch is a very, very, very good loser. He's not a sore loser. He texts in, GG boys, good game.
Thank
I'll
you.
get you in fantasy league. Well done.
Hey.
Congrats to Eric and Madison on the $50 gift card. It is Kyle Bruston-Ortman across ESPN Wisconsin, as in a text thread that I don't want to be on anymore is turned into Josh DiMaggio, the producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and Brad Nortman, our resident specialist, who would trade one of the top 4 Green Bay Packers wide receivers for Justin Tucker.
Buzz back and forth.
I mean, they're
23 unread messages?
I feel like I'm in a Twitter chat where you're tagged in and you don't want anything to do with the conversation. They keep on talking.
Yeah, we're going at it a little bit. I'm holding my ground that I would trade one of the 4 Packer receivers for Justin Tucker.
Right now, the last text that I got is that Darius Slayton of the New York Giants has the same average annual salary as Sir Justin Tucker.
What's Slayton? What is he, wide receiver 2?
No.
3?
No. Yeah, maybe 3, 4, fringe.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2, 3. 2, 3.
I'm just for this Packer team specifically. Okay, if one of the wide receivers wasn't there,
Josh, he's getting him to go down. This team specifically, not as a philosophy.
Like how much would it really affect them? If Jordan Love is a true QB1, top 8-5 quarterback in the league, he can elevate a wide receiver 4.
Listen, I'd rather
and you got a great kicker.
I'd rather us invest the draft pick in a younger kicker that's going to cost less
How'd
money.
that work
in the
out
draft
for
pick.
us?
Well, that was 6th round. Let's get maybe a 4th round pick or something like that. Jake Moody.
Sounds like the Green Bay Packers had a successful joint practice against the Baltimore Ravens. Do you expect the starters to play on Saturday now? We'll get the feel from our guys, the overreactor Kyle Wallace and the brains behind the operation Brad Nortman and myself, Ben Bruss. Kyle Bruston-Ortman across ESPN Wisconsin, back in 2 minutes. That's it. Don't
They
go anywhere.
say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And remember, football season is here and cooler temps are on the way, so do not wait. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free plus 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
For love of the game.
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Buck stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nordman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hanging with you, KBN Nation, at 800-990-3776. My name's Ben Bruss alongside Kyle Wallace, our Packer backer. You decide if you believe that or not. Brad Nortman, Super Bowl 50 runner-up, longtime NFL punter and holder of kickers.
Indeed.
Was it cool to hold? Could you see the kick from down there?
Yeah. And I usually knew if it was going in or not.
Based off the kick or based off of their reaction?
How it came off the foot and like then looking at the ball. Like once the ball gets a quarter of the way there, I'm like, ooh, that's either making it or it's not.
What do you do when somebody misses?
That's all right, buddy. Get him next time.
Yeah, you just kind of like the helmet tap.
I mean, even when you're like a game losing field goal.
I was never part of a game losing field goal.
Oh,
wow. I was a
That's
part
surprising considering your second place record.
Well, I was a great holder. I'm not even gonna lie. I was a really good holder. Like that's something that
cool.
3 game-winning kicks. One that was like a 50-plus yard on Monday Night Football in the rain. That was from the leg of Graham Gano. Yeah, it was fun. Those were fun moments to be a part of.
Were you nervous about dropping in the rain?
Is he a part of it?
Yeah, he's part of it. He got to snap the hole and a kick.
That's critical, Ben.
It is.
Critical.
Nobody shouts out the holder after the kick.
The kicker does.
The only time that you get glory as a holder is when you mess up.
Well, that's not glory. That's hate.
Tony Romo, we still remember the slick ball. It was a slick ball he couldn't hold on to.
Brad Nortman claims that he would trade one of the Packers' top 4 wide receivers for Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. Would you do it? It's trickling up a little bit. 37% say yes. I think that's a hefty, healthy percentage for your argument, Brad.
That is pretty good. I mean, look, it's not a sexy stance to take, but people that know football, I think they get it.
Yeah. And if you know football and you follow football and you're all about the green and gold, it sounds like, based off some of the plays I was reading to Kyle earlier from the bloggers and beat reporters on Twitter X, that the offense had a pretty good day, a slow start, and then Jordan Love picked it up. Anders Carlson had a really good day, and the defensive line for the Green Bay Packers was disruptive, which you like to hear in a new scheme of 4-3, getting some pressure, getting to Lamar, making him run not on design. And so the conversation over the last 2 weeks-ish has been, all right, 3 plays from the Green Bay Packers, Dontavion Wicks touchdown, 1 series, 3 plays. Was that good enough? Would you be okay? I think we put out a poll. If you only saw those 3 plays, would you be okay with not seeing the rest of the starters play at all in the preseason? That started to shift a little bit when Matt LaFleur came out last week, early in the week, and said that the starters were not likely going to play, and basically said aren't going to play in their Sunday night game against the Broncos because they had a joint practice, but they were emphasizing getting lots of production and learning a lot from that practice. Well, they learned a lot, but they did not come ready to play. They did not do well. And then in the preseason game with 31 starters out, the effort, the grit, and the energy that Matt LaFleur was looking for wasn't there. He then starts the week by saying, I don't know what the plan is for the last preseason game. The players that play in it will be determined by how they play in this week's practices. Based off the performance today, and we'll hear from Jason Wilde at 3:15, if you're Matt LaFleur, do you feel confident not playing your starters on Saturday before you play the Philadelphia Eagles in the next time we will see the starters likely in a real game? 800-990-3776. What say you?
I've seen just enough. I've seen just enough to not put the starters out there. I would still contend, maybe it's an old school mentality. I would love to see them go out there and play maybe 1 series just to really get into it. But they needed this. The Green Bay Packers offense and defense, particularly offense, they needed this. Let's be honest. This offense is a little streaky, right? I mean, when they're feeling it, holy cow, it's like NBA Jam where they're on fire, right? I mean, it doesn't matter who you throw out there, they're going to beat you. But when they're off, they're a little off. The only question is how long does it take before they get going and how long can they sustain it? I would be concerned if we didn't see it, if we didn't see the rhythm, if we didn't see the fire, if we didn't see what this offense is capable of. So I said earlier in the week, if the Packers play against the Ravens like they did against the Broncos in practice, you got to play them because you need to discover that rhythm. It sounds like maybe an okay 11 on 11, but red zone, move the ball, all the other situational where it's 1 versus 1s. Whoo, it sounds like they were on fire and heating up were the words from the beat reporters on the sideline. So to me, I've seen enough. They have found the rhythm. They have found their heat. And to risk injury, I would say I'd be okay if I didn't see them play on Saturday.
AFAM chimes in. He says, we notoriously start slow. I could see us taking an L against Philly, and then gives Brad a shout that you're crushing it today.
Of course.
Attaboy, Brad.
Thank you.
Obviously love special teams talk. That's what's up. But I love the results that we got today, right? They're very encouraging for the Green Bay Packers. They're very encouraging for what we want to see going into week 1. Now, for me, though, I would still like to see this team go out there and at least play a series where you have, 8 some plays or 6 to 8 plays out there where the offense gets a chance just to go out there.
Real quick, 3 and out. Put them back out there?
Put them right back out there. Put them right back out there for one more series. And then after that, you go ahead and move on. But it's not the decision that I want, right? It's about what Matt LaFleur wants to do. And Matt LaFleur has displayed last week with his actions, and he adjusted it this week, where he basically said they were not going to play against the preseason game against the Broncos, regardless of how they practiced that week, whether they were into practice or they weren't into practice, whether they performed well and executed the way they were supposed to against the Broncos in the joint practice. It did not matter. And then he changed his tune this week. But clearly Matt LaFleur has no real he has no real desire to actually have them play in the game, in the preseason game. And basically, I think his mentality and approach he had this week was, you guys got to earn it, right? And I'm big on making sure guys earn the ability to be able to do stuff. And based off the performance today that we saw from Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love tore it up today. That's exactly what we want to hear. The defensive line.
I'd say tore it up. I'd say he had a really good day.
I mean, he had 216 yards.
He started 5 of 12 with an interception.
Four touchdowns, 4 red zone touchdowns. He ended the day well. So for me, that's a good day, and he heated up.
That's where the money's made.
And exactly. And so for me, the Green Bay Packers did enough in order for them to be rewarded with not having the start.
But you still want to see him.
I would still like to see him one more time. But I am encouraged because this is a team in the Baltimore Ravens that is a really good football team, and the fact that they were able to go up against that football team and come out with confidence, right? That's what you want, because if you can believe it if you don't want to. But the Green Bay Packers lost a little confidence against the Denver Broncos because they thought they stuff didn't stink. They went out there, got hit in the mouth, and they realized we got to lock back in, and that's exactly what they did. And I'm happy from this positive result.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I personally, I think it's more of a selfish thing more than anything. Like, I want to see him. I only saw him 3 plays, right? And then it was like, oh, wow, I'm just kind of watching something that's in the background. And then if there was a kicker that came out, you maybe peeked your eyes open to see if Greg Joseph and Anders Carlson was going to make it.
You bet you did.
But outside of that, I'm thinking to myself, well, at this point, I have to trust Matt LaFleur, basically because when you think about the amount of preseason games and reps that they got last year as a young team, right? It was obviously very important heading into a season in which they started 2-5 because they were the youngest team in the NFL. Now, when the youngest team in the NFL goes to the playoffs and wins a playoff game, it's not the entire team that was, back for this year, but there's a good majority of guys that understood what it took to have not just sustained success in the late regular season games to get to the playoff, but to go into Jerry World and demolish the Cowboys, right? And so that still lives within them. So if you saw enough of what you've seen from your guys, right? You're the head coach. You're around them, not 365. Brad talks about, the gap between mandatory mini camps and training camps, a little mini vacay. But you're around your guys enough to know where they're at. And based off the fact that he's made playoffs for the last 5 years, I'm going to trust Matt LaFleur on this call. If he believes that what he saw today and from this week of practice, that this team is where they need to be for week 1, he shouldn't play him. If he thinks that, look, I think we're still young, we've been a little too inconsistent for my liking, I understand the injury risk of putting guys out there, but also there's injury risk in everything, right? We've seen Joe Burrow pull his calf in just like tag drills where they're not even tackling them. So at this point, I just think if Matt LaFleur, and I can't believe I'm saying this because, I do like to get at Matt a little bit about trying to find his identity, but to his resume, he is a good coach, right? They've made the playoffs for the last 5 years. He's made it to 2 NFC Championship games. I don't care if the quarterback was Aaron Rodgers or Bart Starr. What he did as a first-year head coach, winning 13 games 3 years in a row, he understands success, right? You know, there's a quarterback's very important, but he had enough around his entire team to lead them to a place of, all right, I know what it takes to get to X. And if he believes that they can get to X with where they've been through this offseason, don't throw him out there. But selfishly, I want to see him.
You know what's interesting about Matt LaFleur? I agree. I don't think he wants to play his guys in preseason. I think he had to last year to figure out what he had. But this year, I'm reading that he doesn't want to have his guys play. It almost seems like he is the coach that we described a little bit yesterday, right? Using one word to describe Matt LaFleur. He doesn't like being the bad guy. I think it's not who he is, right? And this team almost seems like they perform better when their back's against the wall and they're called out and they're underdogs and underappreciated. So he has a really interesting thing that he's got to do where he's got to be tough on the guys and create a little bit of edge when that's not really his personality. That's why I think he did so well with all those veterans with Aaron Rodgers. I think he more naturally would like to be more player friendly, a little bit more easy on them and let them just be players.
And what he was able to do with those old guys is let them be vets because vets know what it takes to 100%. Be at a certain level.
And that's why it was so important when we talked about yesterday, how do we define Matt LaFleur as a coach, right? That's why it's so important for him to have this identity because they are still budding young stars. They're still trying to figure out how to be veterans. And that's why it's so encouraging seeing them really refocus from what they did last week and be able to respond the way they did against a very good football team. That's exactly shows you what the potential is for this team. But how can Matt LaFleur get them to sustain this type of success? That is the ultimate challenge that he has to do. When you know that you have basically a stud at all different positions, when you know you have a Kentucky Derby Triple Crown type horse, but you need to harness it all in and put it all together so that horse can be a champion, he has to figure out how to train this team up to make sure that every single time that they kick off a football, they are locked in and they're ready to go and they're going to put on their best performance. Never play down to the competition. Never get complacent. Always go out there to try to dominate every single game. That's what he has to get out this football game.
And I was going to try and do an analogy because I actually thought I was going to have a good one, but it required a lot of reading and a lot of words on the first article that I clicked. I was going to try and figure out where this young Packers team, if they were the youngest team in the NFL last year, they were moldable, right? They were in that adolescent, even babyish stage, right? Like you're trying to form those habits, try things, figure out what works, figure out what, how to make them grow. And now they're in year 2, are they 3 to 5 year olds? Are they 5 to 10 year olds, right? Because you get to a certain age and people become self-sufficient, right? People know what they know how to brush their teeth, right? Those are habits that you put in now for these young guys that hopefully if they stay as a core together, Matt LaFleur doesn't have to be the guy that has to, I love what you said there, Brad. He's got a fine line right now. He's trying to be the player's coach, but you also, for a young team, guys who are young, they're it's just natural, right? It's natural for you to maybe be like, oh, I'm good. I'm in the NFL. No, it takes consistent hard work every single day if you want to hold the trophy up at the end of the year.
And it doesn't seem like this team responds particularly well to being crowned, right? Because I think they started training camp. Everyone's riding high on them. It's taken longer for them to get their feet underneath them than we all expected. Every time their back was against the wall last year, that's when they played their best football. Every time that they were underdogs, they played their best football. It's a completely new challenge to now be the one that you expect to win and to not allow that to permeate into your play and, like you said, get complacent.
Well, I talked to Jason Wilde earlier. I was lucky enough to talk to him during our show prep, and I know he's joining us next. It's Jason Wilde joining Kyle Brust-Nortman with reaction from the joint practice. It's next.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman, KBN.
You said they are a reflection of their head coach. Yes, he's soft, as he proved with you by signing that damn jersey you had on. You think Campbell would have signed that jersey?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Westbound on 94, we're seeing some delays already right out of the Marquette interchange all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, just south of Silver Spring. Looks like we've got a crash off on the left shoulder. Luckily, it's behind the barrel, so we're not seeing too many delays related to that. It is just heavy from Hampton down past Capitol. Northbound's going to be a bit slow from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 54 inland. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 80. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light.
I think I'm going to have to bring Romeo Dobbs into the Tausch stand category and start promoting and pushing him more.
Wilde and Tausch.
I feel like he is just so criminally. Like, he's an afterthought for too many Packer fans, and I think he's going to have a bust-out year.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
You paid too much for that nice ride. Why put it through a gas station car wash when you can treat it to Tsunami Express instead? At Tsunami Express Car Wash, you can expect nothing but the best with unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Tsunami Express is now open in Midtown Milwaukee at the intersection of Fond du Lac Avenue and Capitol Drive. Get a free car wash only at the Tsunami Express Midtown Milwaukee location August 21st through September 1st. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at TsunamiExpress.com.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? A succession plan that benefits business owners and employees. Full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Welcome to another episode of Analysis, man.
From Bucks superstar Giannis.
And then I'm going to Chris at the time.
What did coach mean? What do you...
And even Green Bay QB Jordan Love. There's only one call for these conversations.
I've never been in the Lambeau, and I have to, right? What is this Lambeau League?
Tune in to the Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Find it today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts.
Are you looking for a reliable ride? I've got you covered. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. I use AccuTrans Group for my private transportation needs during the college football season. AccuTrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, AccuTrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote or to book a reservation today for reliable and safe transportation.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you. And every Saturday.
Joining us now on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin is Jason Wilde. You can hear Jason on Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon across these various stations. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, no Alex Strofe, Chris Larson in for him. How are you, Jason?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
You know, it's always an emotional roller coaster as it comes to reacting to things as they happen with Kyle Wallace. And I guess take everything into account from the 3 plays we saw from them in the preseason game with the Ones to what you've heard in Denver to what you saw with the Ravens. How would you characterize the last 3 weeks in the feel for the Green Bay Packers locker room and where they're headed?
2 words: Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
You hear that, Kyle? Celebrate!
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm not sure I mean it, but
Jason.
look, these are the ups and downs, right? This is the reality. Like, the other team gets paid too. But today they had a really good day, which in the grand scheme of things, it matters where you're at today and then where you are tomorrow and then where you are, obviously, before you get on that plane for Brazil and where you're at when you get there. Like, it doesn't matter that they were crappy against Denver at this point. Like, what did they do about it? And it would appear that they came out today and had a much better effort, a much better focus. Jordan Love, because I said to him, what makes you so confident in the offense? Like, Denver obviously got the best of you. Your defense has gotten the best of you for most of camp. And, he said that he thought the issue in Denver was just a lack of detail and that they did those things today. And when they do those things, they were pretty darn good today offensively. They had a little bit of trouble early on in the team run 11-on-11 period. Love threw a pick that Roquan Smith made a great play on. But overall, they were pretty good in the red zone, and then they were quite good on the 2-minute drill. Like, there was a lot to feel good about offensively, and then I was able to watch some of the defense, and then I watched all of the 2-minute drills. All three of the Packers' offenses, first, second, and third string, all got the game-tying field goal in the 2-minute, and all three of the Packers' defenses got stops against the Ravens. So, today was a good day for them, and you should, by extension, as a fan, feel good too.
Well, it's certainly exciting for the Green Bay Packers, and you mentioned field goals. And that led me into a conversation that you guys on Wilde and Tausch kicked off a little bit for us, and we just kind of evolved it a little bit as well. And I went out and said, look, I would trade one of the Packers' 4 top receivers for Justin Tucker, right? And I like to see Carlson do well. Seems like he's doing better, and I'm rooting for him. I'm a specialist guy, Jason. But, hypothetically, if you have the opportunity to get an elite, one of the best kickers of all time, and assurances of points once you get to the 40, I would take Justin Tucker. I think that's more valuable than having 4 stud receivers. I'm good with 3 and an elite kicker. Is that a crazy take, or are you aligned with how I'm thinking?
I got the drug test kit ready if you need me to have him take it.
No, so here's the thing. And I've tried to be more open-minded, because remember, when you come from a newspaper background, and I don't think I'm nearly as cynical as some of my newspaper brethren are, but this is all galactically stupid if you take it purely from the point of reality, because the Baltimore Ravens, under no circumstances, are trading the best kicker in NFL history, right? So from that perspective, it's just dumb. But, and this is what I said to Tausch, because he kind of, as he is known to do, took it and ran with it today. If you think of it from the perspective of, what does this say about how valuable I believe the kicking game is, or how valuable Goody would view the kicking game, then it becomes a constructive exercise. And so, I look back on last year, and, you guys have heard me say this many times, you don't keep a rookie kicker if you think you're a Super Bowl contender. You don't trade away one of your best corners in Rasul Douglas at the trade deadline if you think you're a Super Bowl contender. You don't stick with the rookie kicker so he can miss a critical kick in an NFC divisional playoff game on the road if you thought you were going to be in this position, right? They should have called Mason Crosby a month earlier when he was having his struggles, so you had a guy who'd been there, done that, to attempt that field goal. And so now everything is different, though. So now how valuable does he see the kicking game being? Now how willing is he to make a move or find someone else? I mean, there was a kicker trade earlier today or yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
So how important does he view that? as being, and then what is he prepared to do about it? Because it's like you just said, the expectation game has completely changed. The expectations are now that this is a team that is a playoff team, a contender, and maybe even a Super Bowl team. And if that's the case, then these types of conversations are fundamentally reasonable.
Yeah, and I think Brad's best argument was the guy who was voted number one out of the top 100 is Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs moved on from him, and Harrison Butker was just signed. Now, again, it's not apples to apples and money and whatnot, but it is some sort of a blueprint of what a maybe dynasty, if you want to call him, is doing. As Jason Wilde joins us here on Kyle Bruston-Ortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
Now, Jason, you said something that Jordan Love said. Denver issue was a lack of detail, and I really feel that's telling. Do you think that the response that the team had today had to do with the approach that Matt LaFleur took this week versus the approach of last week of telling guys, yeah, regardless of what happens this week, you're not going to play in the preseason game? Do you think that approach that Matt LaFleur played a big difference in today's approach or today's results?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it made a big difference, but I definitely think it made a difference. I do think that there's a tendency to relax when you are told, all right, well, just have a good practice, and you guys aren't going to play in this meaningless game. I just think that's human nature, and I think Matt LaFleur admitted as much when I asked him about it the other day. So, yeah, I do think it factored in. Again, I don't think having a bad are the Ravens now going to go back to Baltimore and go, man, we had a bad practice. Maybe we're not as good as we think we are. They're what?
A veteran-laden team. You got Lamar Jackson, you got Derrick Henry, you got guys. I know their offensive line might be its holes, but like you feel more confident because you know what you're going to get from them.
Yeah, I mean, but at some point, I mean, obviously this team is still young, but they're not as young as they were, right? I mean, you know, your quarterback is in his second year as the starter, but he's in his fifth year in the league, right? Josh Jacobs is new to the team, but he's a veteran. Your other big signing in the offseason, the linchpin of your defense, Xavier McKinney at safety, is a veteran. He's new to the team, but he's in his fifth year. You look at, you know, a lot of those other guys on defense, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander. They're all veteran guys. And let's not forget, as much as we love all these wide receivers, like they don't have any rookies in that group now, right? Like one guy in Grant Dubose was on the practice squad all year last year. But beyond that, they're all guys that at least have experience. So this is vastly different than the team they fielded last year. There's no doubt about that.
And Jason, I'm glad you just listed a lot of the veterans that are on this Green Bay Packers defense because, I don't know, maybe I'm not paying as close attention to things that are being put out there. I'm still curious as to like what the overall feel is from the 3-4 to the 4-3. Like, is that in training camp standing out as a good shift in philosophy? Like, do we need to wait and see still until, you know, we see them in real game action? I'm still trying to get a feel of what to expect, and maybe you don't have an answer because it's still a work in progress.
No, it's definitely an improvement. It definitely is. Now, half the league plays 4-3, half the league plays 3-4. But basically everybody in the league plays what is essentially a 4-2-5 because they play their nickel group so frequently. But I think the biggest difference is not necessarily the way the positions that guys are lining up in. It's two things. It's one, the more aggressive mentality. Like, it is a stark contrast from the Joe Barry keep everything in front of you system. There's no denying that. But the other thing, and I thought this was really interesting in talking to Matt LaFleur, is that it's simpler. Like, guys do the same stuff over and over and over again. They don't have as much read and react. That goes all the way from the front to the back. And so when you do it over and over and over again, you know this, whether it's about your jump shot or your mediocre, you know, defense, as Coach Bo Ryan would tell us. I mean, the bottom line is the more you do it, the better you're at it. And I think that because they have guys doing the same thing, like a defensive end. Very rarely now is Rashawn Gary going to drop back in coverage, right? And so he's doing the same thing no matter what the situation is. And that's healthy for him, and it simplifies things. And his muscle memory is better, and his confidence is better. And he doesn't have to think, oh, am I supposed to do this when we're in this situation? It's basically he's doing the same thing every time. And so I think that, more than anything, is where this defensive change is significant. 3-4, 4-3, the way the 4-3 is played is what allows these guys to keep doing the same stuff because nothing changes from base to sub and all that kind of stuff.
Well, Jason, we know you got to run. We appreciate the time. When we talk to you on Monday, we'll be even closer to real football and appreciate the insight from today's practice.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Listen to him, Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations. It's Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I've been attacked. So has Brad. And I didn't even say this. During the show, something happened to me, and
No!
Get out.
No!
Yeah, let's explain what happened next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Tausch, thank you for all that baby talk there and parenting talk. I'll take some of those tips.
I was getting ready for it right
Yeah, taking notes over there,
taking some of those nips, taking some of those tips, those tips and storing them away. I do like nips as well. But Tausch.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, it looks like we're dealing with an accident on southbound 43. It's just south of Silver Spring, off on the left shoulder behind the barrels. So it's not really affecting the ride too much to the north of that, but to the south, we've got basic delays from Hampton down to Capitol Drive. Northbound is slowing down from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. Westbound 894, your usual backup out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to Loomis, and then a little bit heavy from about 60th to 68th Street. Westbound 94, heavy from 25th all the way to Hawley Road. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 54 inland. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 80. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Check out the newest Lady Jane's in Oak Creek on Howell Ave, just south of Puth Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Ask for Haley. I will make you look and feel great. Take advantage of our grand opening special. Haircuts are just $20. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Ave, just south of Puth Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Show every week presented by Gruber Law Offices, also brought to you by Pato, Watamee Casino Hotel, and Carbless. Thanasis Antetokounmpo hangs out with special guests for fun and surprising conversations. He had a live show with Giannis, a chat with Jordan Love, and he gets the inside scoop on all things with fighting with Logan Paul. He has all the unique guests. Find The Analysis Show on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Plus, you can subscribe to The Analysis Show on YouTube to see exclusive video content from Thanasis. The Analysis Show presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all.
Dirk was on yesterday.
Last week, but yeah, you can watch it back.
Dirk was last week too?
Yeah.
Oh, I just heard it yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. But you should get those notifications just so you subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and you can watch us live there. It's Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. It's been a weird 3 days here. 2 days ago, we were trying to figure out things we don't understand and how they work. Then yesterday, in our pre-show meeting before the show, I started screaming a company that I saw in the Super Bowl that Homer wears headphones from, Homer of the Homer Hour, Temu. Temu. I regret yelling that in our pre-show because Brad, it's popped up 10 times for you?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ben. On Twitter X, no less than 5 times, it's shown up on my feed. And I'm scrolling. Those are the ones I've noticed. A lot of times I really try to block out the ads. And I cannot help but see Temu everywhere over my Twitter X. But it doesn't stop there. My work computer that has been around, as Ben has been saying Temu, as we talked about Temu yesterday, I thought if there was anything, I understand the phone, right? Okay, the phone, I know there's a mic and everything. I thought our work computer was at least...
computer has a mic, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was at least semi-fortified, though. I open up our main page, I don't even know what it is. It's like an MSN, and what do you know? Right there, front and center, big old Temu banner ad.
Temu done got you.
They asked Kyle to be a remote worker.
They
literally called you 10 minutes after I said that.
They texted me
and
about
guess
that.
what, guys? You know what?
I'm putting in my 2 weeks.
Brad, you remember you golfed with me in the ESPN Milwaukee Open?
Sure did.
We were at the Marquette University activation hole.
Yes, sir.
And I was having some fun with them, nothing that serious. I'm not shooting on your hoop, whatever. They gave me a Marquette cup, and I set a golf ball on top. I took my driver, and I whacked the cup into the woods while breaking my driver head.
Oh,
yes,
that's terrible.
That happened.
That is terrible.
This is 3:06 p.m. today on Twitter X. Temu ad. Do you need a new set of golf clubs?
No, they didn't do that.
Oh, wow.
No, they didn't.
Oh my gosh.
My gosh.
They watch it and listen at all times. They pick it up. I tell you, China
I played golf on Friday when I was off. I had to ask for a demo driver, so they're hearing me.
Yeah.
And now they're offering me damn golf clubs.
Oh my goodness, they are good. They are so good.
They are so.
Kyle, if you can't beat them, join them. Take the job.
No, for real. All anybody that thinks they're getting cheated on, hire Temu, because I tell you, they the feds. They are the feds. They hear everything.
Cheated on, hire Temu. They can hear everything.
I'm telling you, it's like a parasite. I mean, they just wiggle their way and they just latch on to your life, your world, and they keep on popping up in all these areas.
So
I'm legit concerned.
You wrote something in our pre-show document that said we need to get away from society. And it got me thinking, because we have our Green Bay Packers Green and Gold time capsule, which you can find on Twitter X, where you can fill out all of our questions that we're going to compile. I got about 50 of them at my desk. We're going to put them in a box. We're going to lock it up and bury it in my backyard and open it up after the end of the season. I got thinking about burying. It's called the Brad Nortman Estate.
Oh, I'm listening.
Do we get any people listening? 800-990-3776 to help us build a bunker.
I'm legit willing to.
That like they can't hear anything, no cell reception. Like we live like cavemen, and
we there's plenty of room.
I don't know about the cavemen thing. But we can go into the house for snacks and food and come back down.
It's just it'd be like a quiet place, right? You're gonna in a quiet place
we need
when
a
they go
TV
through,
though.
Yeah,
not from Temu.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like what do you really need? Like I'm close to just like burrowing out an area of the Nortman Estate. I'll make it big enough so we can all be there. But like if I got a TV to watch my sports and I'll do the show remote. I got enough healthy food. Give me a treadmill, couple weight. I'm good. What more do I need?
Brad.
I don't need Temu. I don't need any of this.
Scared of the society?
I'm getting there. Based on the way Temu is targeting me, that
Brad,
should scare you.
Let me ask you something. When you watch TV, do you have a cable box or do you stream?
I stream.
And what does that take?
Wi-Fi.
And you think for a second your TV ain't listening to everything you got to say?
We're going antennas.
I'm telling you,
bunny ears. Let's do bunny ears.
We're going antennas.
You need to go the big old. Matter of fact, I was driving over to my parents' house and I drove past in the neighborhood and I saw a big old TV. You know them big old tube TVs, the 60-inch tube TVs, the fat back. You need to get one of them fat back TVs to go in that bunker.
I do need one of those. We just need to throw it back to like the 1990s.
I was just gonna say, all I need is an N64. We can play Blitz. We can play GoldenEye. We can play.
You didn't need internet back then.
No,
you just got the
power cord and the yellow. I got a question actually. 800-990-3776. Maybe you guys will know the answer. Do you remember in video game systems or DVD players or anything you connect to the TV? Now it's all HDMI cords.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the yellow, the white, and the red?
Yeah.
Yes.
All you needed was the yellow and the white. What the heck does the red do?
I don't know what that did.
Does anybody know what the red did?
I feel like red had something with sound too, right?
No.
With left to right stereo. Because I put it in all three on some of the TVs I had. It had boop, boop, boop.
Chris, I feel like you may know. What do the yellow, white, and reds do? Yellow is, I think, visual. White was sound. And then red just, I didn't even plug it in.
I think they wanted to think you had more reliance on the cord. Another thing I wondered if it actually worked.
Dick Van Dyke chimes in. This is our next ad. Temu ad. Are you in need of a bunker and a treadmill?
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
If you get that targeted ad, do you need a bunker or a treadmill? I'm leaving Earth.
Officially doing it.
I'm leaving Earth.
Yeah. We need to find a way to get like a closed end internet. Is there a thing like that?
Yeah. Here's the thing, fellas. How much it is kind of sad how we have literally no privacy whatsoever in our lives, and we've given the government, we've given our cell phones, we've given these apps literally everything. Matter of fact, we are going to be AI. If we're still doing this show in a decade, which I hope KBN Nation will be here celebrating our 10-year, 9 years from now. When we take days off, we'll be AI, right? We're going to be giving our voices away. Fellas, just let it be. Let it be.
You need to fight the system, Kyle. That's not me calling for an insurrection. I'm just saying we just need to slow down, KBN Nation.
Whoa.
Easy, Brad. This is really getting to you.
Yeah, we need to. You can't allow AI to just make AI Kyle Wallace.
You know what?
You're accepting it. You're just laying down and dying.
I love life. I love everything about this technology that we have. I absolutely do. You can scan documents and boom, just scan it all of a sudden it's an email. I can make phone calls to people across the globe. I can put a private. I can go on my internet browser and put on privacy, and then they won't know what.
I wish I was born 10 years earlier.
Doesn't do anything.
Oh, yes, it does.
No, it
Incognito.
doesn't.
Mike in Lake Mills, you're our tech guy. Welcome into Kyle Bruston Ortman.
Hey guys, what do you want to know?
What is the red in the yellow, white, and red plug-in in TVs 10 years ago?
I think the red and the white were like if it's like non-stereo, like left-right channels of stereo.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then if you have a white, you have a non-stereo TV, and I think the yellow is for video.
Yeah,
Mike, confirm.
So I've been a technician for 25 years. So that's called an RCA jack. The RCA jack, the yellow was for video, white and red were left and right audio channels.
There it is.
And you can buy a converter to go to HDMI. So you could still use your old systems and plug it in. That's about $10 on Amazon.
Yeah, when they first came out,
Temu.
When they first,
I'd rather give Bezos all my information than Temu, who keeps targeting me.
No, this is RCA cords are definitely going to be on Temu. But I used to have to do that. I had to get the adapters.
Are they listening to everything?
Yes.
And by that,
have you not watched documentaries?
Do we still have our technician on? Or is he gone?
He's on hold. I can put him back on.
Put him back on.
Mike, you're here.
I don't even know who they are, but are they listening to everything?
Temu and everything?
Temu, government, everybody. They, them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would always browse as a guest if I were you on Chrome.
Incognito? Wait a minute, does Incognito work now? Because I got some things I'll be looking at.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
How can that work, though?
No way. I don't buy it. I don't buy. Trust me. I do it. I'm on Incognito all the time. But I tell you what, I know even on Incognito, if they want to find my Incognito, they're going to find my Incognito.
But that would be the perfect trap, right? To be like, oh, hey, this is a way that we won't track anything. And then they still track it. Those are the things they probably want to track anyway.
I don't know if they want to track
Temu ad, do you need RCA cables?
It's coming. It's definitely coming.
Brad is the Rutledge is an idiot guy here. RCA cables, yellow is video, white and red were left and right audio. Simple question. Lots of good answers from KBN Nation. Speaking of Jim, Matt, and Molly, there won't be a Jim, there won't be a Matt, but there will be a Molly of Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Yeah, all right.
Joining us next for a little crosstalk before they take over on 100.5 ESPN. We're with you till 5 o'clock on 94.5.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Student Athlete Support Fund is something I was looking at. I'm ultimately likely going to give to this College of Letters. I was in life.
Long week.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Wilde and Tausch.
Did you get nervous as a player, first of all, before matchups with Bruce Irvin or whatever it might have been?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
He's such a jerk, isn't he? He just can't help himself. He's got perfect kids. They eat all of their vegetables and everything else. And nothing, but Jason loves to throw pot shots whenever he can. Have you noticed that about him?
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Main.
Discount Liquor.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls here from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman, and you know what time of year it is. Football season is right around the corner, and I've got the Underdog Fantasy Sports app on my phone and ready to go for week 1. If you're one of the million-plus fans that got in on the action last season, you know how easy it is to win. Playing is so simple. You make picks for a pick'em entry and choose if a player will go higher or lower when it comes to their stats. Maybe it's Jordan Love going for higher than 300 yards passing week 1, or even Christian McCaffrey going lower than 2.5 touchdowns. You could win up to 325 times your money. Download the Underdog Fantasy app today from your app store or visit UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up using promo code KBN, and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first pick'em entry plus a deposit offer. That's promo code KBN. Join me this football season and win big. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Finally, warmer weather, green grass, birds chirping. Don't spend your weekend surrounded by all that junk. Get your free, no obligation, same-day estimate from Two Men and a Junk Truck. You'll restore your sanity and reclaim your space when Two Men and a Junk Truck pulls in your driveway. Visit twomenandajuncktruck.com for your free, no obligation estimate today.
Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. Hey, Badger fans, fall is right around the corner, and so is the return of Badger football. Experience the excitement of Friday Night Lights at Camp Randall Stadium on August 30th as the Badgers take on Western Michigan. Individual tickets start at just $35, with all-inclusive group packages still available. Visit UWBadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS to secure your seats for the Friday night home opener of Wisconsin football on August 30th. That's UWBadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at LowTUSA.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
If you want it,
well, of course,
take it.
Can't make this up. Just talked about wanting a bunker at the Nortman Estate, and Temu strikes again 1 minute ago. We have screenshots, we have timestamps. What is your ad, Brad Nortman, Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin?
Temu. Shop for sofa beds.
It's exactly what we needed, a bunker.
Literally. And that might be the scariest part because they've already heard. They didn't say for your bunker, but they're starting to brainstorm. We hear bunker. What do you need for a bunker without saying what you need for a bunker? This would be perfect for a bunker. You don't have a lot of space.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show. It's time now to be joined by Downtown Molly Brown of Jim, Matt, and Molly, 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN Madison. What do they call you on Jim, Matt, and Molly?
Do you know what's funny? Because somebody just asked me the other day if I don't like being called Downtown Molly Brown anymore because nobody calls me that.
Why were you
called that? So I appreciate... Why would he call me that?
No, why were you called Downtown Molly Brown? I don't know if
honestly,
I would like
don't know.
that name.
I think that's probably like a Scalzo and Breast thing that you guys started.
We called her Downtown
sure.
Molly Brown when she was in training helping produce the show.
Okay, I wouldn't want to be called down. A lot of weird things happen downtown.
I did find out that Molly's father called her Maladina.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Maladina Muffin Pie.
And you still call me that. Like every time I see you, you call me that.
Is that an HR violation? Do I need to stop that?
No, it's fine. I'm not complaining.
Brad, you're probably not HR. I'm having a conversation with the person that I'm asking if it's acceptable or not. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to our conversation. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about the joint practice today with the Green Bay Packers, but AI is taking over. They're listening. We are getting served ads from Temu nonstop just by mentioning their name, and they're targeting us for what we need in our lives. Do you have those weird things, anything come to mind that pops up where you're like, what the hell?
Oh, for sure. I feel like I've talked about like local restaurants and they come up randomly. If I say, I need to buy a new pair of jeans, there's all of a sudden a new pair of jeans that shows up on my timeline. It's funny that you're mentioning Temu though, because I actually had a piece of mail delivered from Temu the other day, but it wasn't mine.
It's our fault.
Yeah. Probably. It was not mine. It was one of my neighbors, though. But I really wanted to open the package. I know this is illegal, but I really wanted to open it because I'm like, what is in there? But I've heard if you order things from Temu, you got to be careful because they might come in like doll size. Have you heard this?
No, that's not Temu.
Doll size?
That's
What's
Wish.
Temu, Kyle?
That's Wish. Oh, that's what the old people call it. Temu.
Here we go.
Temu.
Targeted by something else. What is this Wish?
Wish.com. That's where the stuff is too small.
I don't know. I've never ordered from either because I'm too scared.
My mother is a big fan, and let me tell you.
What a weird.
I will say too, my mom ordered a rice cooker from Temu, and she got a baby rice cooker, like Monopoly-sized piece rice cooker.
One piece of rice.
She didn't read the details.
How much did she pay for it? Like a quarter? Plus shipping?
I can't remember how much she paid for it. But
It's always too good to be true. Always too good to be true.
What a weird world we live in. But Molly, I know you're a big Packer fan, and you know what? I'm not going to lie. How the offense in particular has done throughout training camp, not necessarily to my level of expectation or theirs, a little bit streaky sometimes. Seems like today, from reports at practice, that they turned it on and they caught fire and they were hitting in rhythm and they were doing really well against the Baltimore Ravens. If Matt LaFleur decided not to play Jordan Love and the offensive starters on Saturday, would you be content with where they're at starting week 1 in Philadelphia, or do you think they still need a little more work in them to play on Saturday?
I mean, I don't love it. I was hoping that these joint practices this week, especially against the Ravens, I was hoping that was going to give us a little bit more and show us that they're a little bit more ready going into week 1 against the Eagles. But there's no way that he's going to have them play on Saturday. There's no way, right? Like, I know he hasn't announced yet, but he's not playing Jordan Love on Saturday. There's not a chance.
I mean, are you comfortable with that?
I'm very nervous that if he does play or any of the starters play, then there's going to be something that goes wrong. They're going to get hurt, and then
are you a worrier? Is this the new mom in you? Do you worry about everything that goes in the kid's system?
No, I'm certainly not like that. A crunchy mom, I believe it's called. I'm not a crunchy mom. Have you heard of this?
I've
Being a
never heard
crunchy
that
mom?
before.
I'm probably a crunchy dad.
What is a country mom? Crunchy?
Crunchy.
What is a crunchy mom? What characteristics?
So I believe based on my Instagram searches of crunchy moms, it's like when you go to the grocery store and you're like, oh, there's red dye in this, you're not eating this, or oh, this isn't organic, you're not eating
bad
this.
Mom, bad mom,
It
bad
sounds
mom.
like I'm a crunchy dad then, for sure.
That's
gonna
great.
be
You
the
might
case.
be.
Brad's gonna be like, no red dye for you.
Get that red day out of here.
It has what in it?
Ben, does your kid eat food yet?
We've been piecing together. Oh my gosh! So my fiance is like every day. It's like we got to try the new thing: the avocado, the cottage cheese, the eggs.
Yep.
And it's the funniest thing because the things that I don't like, I'm like praying my kid doesn't like. Is that bad? People don't. I know people like cottage cheese. The texture, the look, it grosses me out.
Yep.
My daughter tried it, and my fiance goes, "Oh, this is the face she always makes." 10 seconds later, vomits it all up, and I was like, "Yes!"
That is dark.
I get it. It's also weird too because like baby puke already looks like cottage cheese. I know that's disgusting and a little bit graphic, but it's true. It's true.
Don't say these things because Kyle pushes off his engagement by 2 years every time he learns what it's going to be like if he's going to have a kid.
Oh wow, yeah, that is definitely very worrisome. That I'm going to deal with kids having puke looking like.
Are you
cottage
kidding
cheese.
me, Kyle?
You're already not that much of a
dude.
kid
You need
guy.
a dog, man, because it's
No,
like
absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, you need to learn to pick up poop. You need exposure therapy. You know what? I need a babysitter Saturday. You free?
Oh,
hey, I do too.
How much y'all paying?
Double the price.
I heard babysitters are costly.
It costs more than the date.
Maybe that is true. That is very true. Maybe next time, Ben, we talk about baby blowouts for Kyle. Does that sound good?
Oh wow!
I heard Matt Hamilton laugh in the background.
Unmistakable.
Everywhere. It doesn't happen when you have them in your hand.
It was
everywhere.
3 a.m. in the middle of the night, and I heard a scream. I thought someone was breaking in. It was just poop everywhere.
Oh no!
And you got to get your ass out of bed and help. You don't just get a baby. I'm going back to sleep.
These babies
It's
lactose
awful.
too.
No, they drink. What are you talking? They drink
They can
milk.
be. No, they can be. There's special milk, I think.
Well, Kyle's going to need that. That's Molly from Jim, Matt, and Molly. You got them, as I saw their YouTube title. Should the starters play in the preseason game, I'm sure they'll fill you in there. We'll continue on. Kyle Bruston-Ortman across 94.5 ESPN, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. In 2 minutes, don't you go anywhere.
Still dealing with an accident on 43 southbound, just south of Silver Spring, off on the left shoulder behind the barrels. Then a little bit slow from Hampton down past Capitol Drive. Northbound 43, heavy out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. And then on the ramp from 894 southbound to the Rock Freeway southbound, we've got an accident off on the right shoulder there. So watch out for delays coming in from above Beloit Road. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 54 inland. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 80. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. You're listening to ESPN Milwaukee 94.5 WKTI HD.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston-Ortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We them boys.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
Do you love doing that every day?
I do.
That's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Nortman. Kyle Bruston-Ortman with you until 5 o'clock, 800-990-3776. On YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. If you've missed any of the first 2 hours of the show, make sure you check it out at WisconsinOnDemand.com, wherever you get your podcasts, or watch us back on YouTube. The Green Bay Packers are close. We're close, boys. No more open practices. A preseason game on Saturday. Roster cuts on Tuesday. And then the next time we see them on the field will be in Sao Paulo in Brazil. Now, Brad, the thought-provoking man that he is, has posed the question. Chris, we get that one up?
Up right now at KBN, ESPN, and ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter.
Did you get... I'm trying to find.
Yeah, if you could guarantee one win for the Packers this season, which would you choose? Week 1 versus the Eagles in Brazil, or Week 18 season finale against the Bears?
Yeah, and I love this question because there's so many angles to pick apart. I know we all get geared up for Week 1. I'm not going to give my answer. It was the brain trust of Brad Nortman that came up with the question, so I'm going to give the floor to you.
No, thank you, Ben. And to me, if I had to pick between the two teams, right, the Week 1 or 2 weeks, Week 1 against Philly, Week 18 against the Bears, I need to put aside the judgment and the passion and the dislike for the Chicago Bears and use my judgment because it's clear it's Week 1. Let me shower you with some stats about what it means for the playoffs about Week 1. If you start 1-0 in the first week, 55% chance to make the playoffs. If you lose and start 0-1, 32%. So if you win, 52%. If you lose, 32%. And obviously, it gets more and more drastic if you go 0-2.
What if they're 2-5?
2-5.
I'm joking because that's what the Packers were, and they still made the playoffs.
I've got that. Historically, 10% chance to make the playoffs.
Oh wow!
I've got a grid right here.
We only had
every possible.
that is a real grid.
It's a real grid.
We had a 10% chance of jumping into Lake Michigan, and the Packers made the playoffs. So we went into Lake Michigan. Except
somehow
Brad and I did. And you didn't go underneath the water.
I did too. I was the smartest person for not putting my face. Look, Brad got stuff growing on his face, and you do too because of that.
What do I got growing on my face?
I don't know, but ugh.
Oh, wow. Good to know how you really feel about me, Kyle. But yeah, to me, it's week 1, and there's a couple of reasons why. So obviously, it's about what it looks like in your playoff odds after even just 1 week. But even more than that, this team is streaky. We saw that all throughout last season. We see that in training camp. So if I can guarantee beating another NFC contender who they're likely going to be jostling with for seeding and a playoff spot, to be able to beat them, be able to establish momentum on a national stage to start strong, that is almost invaluable to me. And if they can do that, I really like their chances to keep rolling, keep the momentum going, stay streaky hot, and maybe even get way ahead of the game before their bye, to the point where Week 18 comes around, they probably don't even need that win, whether it be to make the playoffs or any type of seeding. So for me, between the two, I have to put the passion and the disdain aside against the Bears, because that clouds my judgment. Week 1 is what I will take.
According to Ron, the key also on that grid is Kyle had a 0% chance of going in Lake Michigan, and I think that's very well put. On Twitter at KBN ESPN, early results, 60 votes in, 4 minutes. Week 1 against the Eagles. If you can guarantee one win for the Packers this season, which would you choose? Week 1 against the Eagles, 35%. Week 18 against the Bears is 65%. And you mentioned that cloud of judgment that you have when it comes to the Bears. Well, James Jefferson chimes in. Always guarantee victory against the Bears, no matter the circumstance. Eric chimes in with a more positive outlook. Division and 1 seed will be wrapped up by Week 18, so give me the Eagles on national television in Brazil. Bradley?
One quick thing, too. Imagine if the ultimate insult to the Bears, if that was the case, where they had the number 1 seed and you could just rest your starters. And that would be the ultimate embarrassing slap in the face to the Chicago Bears. It's like, you know what? We don't even need to play you guys. You guys go out and have fun. We're on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, you guys are thinking that this season's going to be sweet and going to be easy. And
who's you guys? I haven't given my answer yet.
Okay, well, Bradley and some people in the talking text line that I love from KBN Nation think it's going to be sweet and easy, but I believe that this team is a really good football team in the Green Bay Packers. But one thing I don't believe is that they will be the number 1 seed this year. I think there's other teams in the NFC that are better than the Green Bay Packers that will probably be fighting for that number 1 seed. So what that means to me, more than likely, Week 18, we are going to be fighting for some type of a position, whether or not it's fighting to win the NFC North, whether or not it's fighting for a higher seed. I feel like that Week 18 game is going to matter. It's not just because we're playing the hated, disgusting, terrible Chicago Bears. It's the fact that Week 18 is probably going to mean something for the Green Bay Packers. Now, on top of that, Brad, you gave a nice little stat there. You said when you win Week 1, you have a 60% chance? 55% chance of making the playoffs. But guess what, Brad? Packers have lost Week 1 and still have gone on to make the playoffs. And we at the Green Bay Packers have been talked about being 2-5 and only have a 10% chance. We buck all those different trends. And there's an old saying, it's not how you start, it is how you finish. And I want this Green Bay Packers football team to finish the season strong and carry momentum as they did this year into the playoffs, last year into the playoffs this year. And so again, I'm not too concerned about the Green Bay Packers winning or losing against the Eagles. I want them to win, right? I want them to start the season off great, but I would prefer the Green Bay Packers in the season on a high note, whether or not it's getting a higher seed or whether or not it's going to clinch the NFC North or whether or not it's going to clinch a position in the playoffs. Week 18 means more to me than Week 1 because I want them playing their best football come Week 18.
What say you? If you can guarantee one win for the Packers this season, which would you choose, Week 1 against the Eagles or Week 18 against the Bears? 800-990-3776. And I also will go with Kyle here on Week 18. It is a knowing what I know now thing, right? This is all prognostication. But it seems to me that there is a potential that the NFC North will be somewhat of a gauntlet, right? The Lions are going to be a very formidable opponent, Each time you play them, they have an identity, they have a bulk of their team back, and they won the division and went to the NFC Championship game last year. The Packers made the playoffs, showed what they're capable of, and they're looking to replicate and move past even further of what they did last year. I hate to mention it, the Bears have talent. Does it mean they're going to? Does it mean they're going to be good? No. But does it mean that they have an opportunity to be a threat? They were a threat even last year.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
They were one game difference at the end of the season.
Okay, hear me out for argument's sakes. You're being the clouded judgment guy. Just look at this from a real lens for a second, not the green and gold goggles. Because I'm literally, take the glasses off. Because I'm literally just all I'm going to say is what you said. Is how much did it matter for the Green Bay Packers last year to win that last game? It meant a ton. They had to beat the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Bears to get to the playoffs. And not only how did they finish the season, it's how it parlayed into the playoffs. And so if the Packers play the Bears in Week 18, this was 2 straight years for the Green Bay Packers where Week 18 was a de facto playoff game. It was the Lions in which they lost to go 8-9, and the Bears in which they beat to go 9-8 and make the playoffs.
Hesitated for it. You just say they beat.
I was just trying to get my thoughts right. Just stay with me here.
All right, nah.
And all I'm getting at here is I would rather know that on the last week of the season, knowing what I know about the Packers, is they should be in contention to make the playoffs. And if there's a should in there, there's not a guarantee. There is no guarantee, but through an 18-week, 17-game season, I'd rather have a guaranteed win against the Bears, putting myself in a position to have momentum into the playoffs, beating a rival if you want to have the cloud of judgment in there as well, because that's going to matter a lot too. I mean, it always feels good, and that matters for the team vibes as well.
What if they were playing the Vikings? Does that matter at all? Does that make it less important?
I don't care who they're playing Week 18. It could be a team that's going 0-16. I care about making sure when you end this football season, especially a team that I do not believe the Packers are going to be 13-4. Would it be? 13-4 this year. I don't think the Green Bay Packers are there. I think
we're not the Chiefs right now. This is a team in the second year ascending.
Exactly.
So you need to, if you can guarantee something, I know we're talking hypothetical here, I'm guaranteeing the last week of the season when on week 12 we're getting in the hunt, winning division. Like, if you're in that conversation, number 1 seed, you want to guarantee a win week 18 no matter what, Bradley. And you can't convince me otherwise with your stupid little grid with percentages, you finance nerd.
I think you guys are concerned you can't beat the Bears.
Shut up.
That's a cope. That means my argument is wrong.
I was expecting you to say, you know what? I don't need a guarantee against the Bears because we're going to beat them anyway. As I thought you were going to say. That tells me you're a little scared about the Bears, Kyle.
Brad, I can't believe you. I cannot believe you just tried to flip it and turn it on me in the sense of make it. You tried to attack something that you know is so personal to me, and the fake rivalry we have against the Bears are really just one-sided and lopsided. No, Brad, I'm being logical in this sense. I'm not being emotional. Y'all knocked me for being the emotional Packer fan, and at this point, I'm not being emotional. I'm being logical because I understand what the important thing is. And based off what we have seen in this Packers team for the last couple of years, if we know Week 18 for the most part matters. And this year, when you only have, in the way the NFL is, one team that gets a bye. If the Packers miraculously, have a really good season and they already lock up the lock up number 1 seed by Week 18, you know what, Brad? You were absolutely right. But what I do know is this. One loss at the beginning of the season does not derail a complete season. The Green Bay Packers can start 0-1 and all of a sudden be 5-1 by the time they get to Week 6. Because this year we saw the Packers start off 2-1, and by the time we got to Week 7, we like, this team is terrible right now. They can't even score a point in the first half. And so again, how you start is important. But how you finish is everything.
See, I think
you're trying to sound like a philosopher there. You think you nailed that? You think you nailed that point there?
I mean, you made a comment, so it must have been pretty dang deep.
I think, and even the jostling for seeding position actually helps my argument too, because I think Philadelphia is more likely to be a playoff team than the Chicago Bears. So if I'm going to guarantee a win, I would rather have the tiebreaker over the Eagles and the Bears. And I think what this team can do with momentum, with getting confidence early. Look, Yes, the Packers have shown the ability to claw their way back, but that's not a fun existence. It is not fun to live that way. I'd rather take a start to the finish from week 1 to week 18, whooping all the way along the way and getting that confidence as they enter the playoffs.
Brad, you know how upset you would be if the Green Bay Packers beat the Eagles and then it came to week 18 and we had another scenario like we did last year and the Green Bay Packers lost to Chicago Bears? Wouldn't you be like, dang?
Well, yeah, I would, but I think that if they beat the Eagles, I think what that means for the season and for the way their team DNA is, I don't think it would get to the point where you need that win week 18. Maybe you need it for seeding, but you don't need it to get into the playoffs. I'd be shocked if week 1 the Packers beat the Eagles and you are playing week 18 to get into the playoffs, right? We can talk about seeding and whatnot, but if they beat the Eagles week 1 and they need a win to just make the playoffs week 18, something has gone very strangely wrong throughout the year.
800-990-3776. Chef Ed with the cloud of judgment. Philly in week 1. Not concerned with the Bears because the Bears still suck.
There you go. There you go.
That's your guy, Kyle.
No, they do still suck.
I know you hate Chef Ed.
No, don't say that.
I don't
say
Chef
that.
Ed knows you don't. You're so sensitive.
No, I don't want Chef Ed thinking that.
You so sensitive.
I know. I'm just making sure I'm creating less enemies and more people who I'm acceptable to, because I'm not going to call you a friend.
Well, tomorrow, yeah, we know that. And tomorrow we will have an opportunity to make more friends as you come out to the Tsunami Car Wash.
Ooh.
You saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I went to it yesterday on my way to the crib. Boy, oh boy, Brad, I got an offer to tell you about.
Oh, I really do. Because tomorrow, KBN will be at the Tsunami Express Car Wash in the Midtown Milwaukee location. That's on the corner of Fond du Lac Avenue and Capitol Drive. And guess what? This is a deal you're going to take advantage of. Kyle Wallace has already taken advantage of this deal.
Sure did.
How was that free car wash, Kyle?
Oh, man, the customer service was fantastic. I pulled up. They put my phone number in. They got free vacuums as well, free air. I went through the system. Boom, 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 boom. I said, ooh, my baby getting clean. She getting clean, baby.
That's right. And you could be like Kyle Wallace getting a free car wash at that Tsunami Express Midtown Milwaukee location. And it's only between now and September 1st. So that are the opportunities to go get yourself a free car wash with a $22 value, and you can just enjoy it. Let your car be looking reflective and shiny, just like Kyle's car, just like my car, just like Ben's car is going to be tomorrow. And we will be there from 2 to 5 on August 23rd. That's tomorrow at Tsunami Express. So come by, say hello, get your free car wash. And we just love to see KBN Nation. If you want to learn more about Tsunami Express, check out tsunamiexpress.com.
Don't you go anywhere. More of us next. Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
DKB, they get all my love, all my energy, and all my time. I'll be danged if GKB and Craig not going to allow me to take my half-an-hour boo-boo. If I need to do that, they need to allow me to do that.
That's your whole lunch break.
I don't even take a lunch break. I work during lunch.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
41 northbound, right about at Burleigh, we've got the 2 right lanes blocked with a broken down vehicle. So watch for delays coming all the way up from Watertown Plank Road. Southbound side seems to be handling things pretty well. We do still have an accident on southbound 43, just south of Silver Spring, off on the left shoulder behind the barrels. So luckily that's not really affecting your ride that much. We do have more delays though from Hampton all the way down past Capitol. Northbound 43 backed up out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe. And 4394 southbound also backed up out of the Marquette all the way down off of the high-rise bridge. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast, tonight partly cloudy skies, a low of 60. Tomorrow partly cloudy with a high of 80. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I cannot imagine that there's any way that he missed the game because he's unhappy that the game was on turf. I think that's preposterous to me.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30.
I thought they looked great. I got to be honest, I think that's what I kind of expected from the Packers.
Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Construction Business Group and Island Resort and Casino.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Less is more.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too.
She absolutely nailed it.
Are you talking about Jenny Sambeline? Yeah, Jenny and her pendant, the music in a mother's heart.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Jenny, we're going to produce your pendant design as a limited edition collector's item and put a few of them in all of our 8 Kessler stores.
Congratulations, Jenny.
Wow, this is huge.
Jenny, we expect the music in a mother's heart to sell out very quickly.
We'll also make a few available online.
I designed that pendant from the memory of how my mother made me feel when we'd sing together.
How often did that happen?
Constantly. We'd sing along with whatever was playing on the radio, or sometimes we would watch a musical on TV and sing along with that.
At just $124, the music in a mother's heart is going to sell out lightning fast.
I'm buying one.
I'm buying one. I bought the prototype the moment I saw it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The Gridiron Developmental Football League National Championship is coming. On Saturday, August 31st, the Racine Raiders take on the Upstate Predators from New York. Don't miss out on your chance to enjoy real football for an affordable family rate. Buy your tickets now at GridironBowl2024.com. It's Gridiron Bowl 15. Kickoff from historic Horlick Field in Racine happens at 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 31st. That's GridironBowl2024.com for ticket and event info.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Football season is here. You know what that means. Fall is just around the corner with cooler temperatures on the way. It's time to make sure your home is ready. If you've been dealing with drafty windows all summer, your AC working overtime, or just bad installation, now's the perfect time to upgrade with Universal Windows Direct before the cold weather hits. Their exclusive Super Spacer technology makes these windows perform better, last longer, and help keep your home comfortable no matter the season. Call Universal Windows Direct today at 414-410-2000, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. There is no limit, plus 0% financing for 60 months. Updating your windows with Universal Windows Direct means extra protection from the elements, a consistent temperature in your home, increased energy efficiency, and reduced heating and cooling costs, plus a quieter and more comfortable home. 0% financing for 60 months, that's 5 years. You can't go wrong. For your last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com. That is UWD.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
He is Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Nortman. We are the Kyle Brust and Nortman that make up this show. Alex Strofe out, Chris Larson in. Chris Larson, how long have you been with the company?
Let's see, about 1 year as an intern. Probably been here going on 14 years in October.
That qualifies as already relevant. So becoming relevant, ignore the imaging. It's already relevant with Chris Larson right now.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
All right, guys, let's kick off here on Already Relevant with Tom Brady, who apparently has got some issues with starting rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. He made a live appearance on the Stephen A. Smith Show over the weekend, sounded off on where he believes the league is going and why young quarterbacks are worse off for it Let's take a listen to the multi-MVP and Super Bowl winner.
There used to be college programs. Now there are college teams. You're no longer learning a program, you're learning a playbook. And the program is ultimately, like at Michigan, for me, that was a pro-style program. 5 years I got to learn how to drop back pass, to read defenses, to read coverages, to be coached. I had to learn from being 7th quarterback on the depth chart to moving up to 3rd to ultimately being a starter. I had to learn all those things in college. That was development. Then I went to New England and I was developed by Coach Belichick and the offensive staff there. I didn't start my first year. I think it's just a tragedy that we're forcing these rookies to play early. But the reality is the only reason why they are is because we dumbed the game down, which has allowed them to play. It used to be thought of at a higher level. We used to spend hours and hours in the offseason and training camp trying to be a little bit better than next year. But I think what happens is it discourages the coaches from going to deep levels because they realize the players don't have the opportunity to go to a deep level, so they're just going to teach them where they're at.
I agree with the GOAT here. I mean, Brady's a prime example. He didn't start until pretty much his sophomore year in the NFL, but that was granted because Drew Bledsoe got hurt. But look at Patrick Mahomes. He didn't play his rookie season. Aaron Rodgers, we got 2 key examples in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers sitting out and not playing in his rookie year. Jordan Love not playing in his rookie season. So, and there's more reason to sit because the offensive line might not be good or you got young receivers. So I'm all in with what the GOAT Tom Brady is saying here. How about you guys?
I don't even care what he said. That man was preaching. Put him in church. I was like, man, I didn't know Tom Brady preached like this.
It's pretty good, pretty compelling.
I was like, dang, I see why he won all them championships. He would have had me ready to run through a wall. I ain't worried about who on the other side of the team, on the other side of the sideline or other side of the field.
I got Tom.
Listen, you got me and I got you. I like you. You know what? You right, Tom. My goodness.
I like to call myself the Tom Brady of this show. You know, getting you guys to run through a wall every single day.
Okay.
Look, Kyle really didn't say anything of substance other than he wants to play for Tom Brady.
I mean, for real, he lost me. I was captivated by just.
That's not a good sign.
That's called like hypnosis.
Yeah, he had me. I'm like, man, this brother is speaking.
Hypnosis.
It's times like that where I think he's actually going to be pretty good in the booth.
He sounds old, man.
What do you mean?
Oh, back in my day,
well,
things have changed. We've seen starters start and develop into good quarterbacks. The 2020 draft class is an example of that.
Whoa.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, it depends on where
Tua just got paid.
But Tua had to go back and forth a
Trevor
little
Lawrence.
He had his struggles and bumps in the road.
But they still made it.
But there's a list that Brad talked about during the season last year of guys who don't make it too.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like more
Did Jamarcus Russell start his first year?
Well, again, we're aging ourselves now.
I feel like more often than not, teams are playing quarterbacks.
What does Tom Brady even know?
Because teams are playing quarterbacks because they have to play them, right? Whether they're ready or not, they get them thrown in there. So I do feel like teams do them a disservice. Very few quarterbacks are actually ready, and I think it can stunt development. I mean, look at the Packers. They've figured out a system. I guarantee you in 13 years, they're going to draft another one right behind.
Oh, no. They'll keep drafting. I mean, they did with Rodgers. It just wasn't first-round caliber talent that they were bringing in for the team.
Okay, got it. I was about to say he's saying my boy Jordan Love.
No, I mean you always continue to take stabs.
Yeah, I mean
it's the job of a general manager.
But it happened with Brett Favre when Aaron Rodgers got drafted. Instead of drafting somebody that can help that team right away, they drafted somebody that can help the team.
Like I know this sounds crazy. I think I said it in a local NFC North example. I know he won't get the reps, but one of the better things that could happen for J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings is him learning, watching. Some of the best things that you can do is sit, watch, learn before you're thrown into the action too early.
I agree.
Chris?
Let's moving on here and already relevant. You guys know who Daryl Doucette is?
Yes, we did. We talked about it.
We talked about it.
Do I know him?
But
did I talk about him?
He said some more. He did say some more.
Did I talk about him?
He's that football quarterback.
Wait. Can I just say, this is why he sucks at Are You Smarter Than Ben Bruss? He legitimately doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, okay. Well, now that you said it's the flag football douche, I know who it is.
Oh, wow.
But he's standing on business, apparently, because a few days after he went viral for saying NFL stars won't be handed spots on the national flag football team when the sport debuts at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, Doucette stated why he should still be the quarterback in 4 years by dissing the 3-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Take a listen.
At the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Patrick Mahomes because of my IQ of the game.
Hell no! Even just listen to this man speak, I don't trust him.
There's a thin line between being confident and silly, and that could be a mile thick, and you still would have crossed it with that nonsense. You can't knock the guy for believing in himself, but you just can't expect anyone else to believe it.
He sounds like a guy who continues to do the same bit over and over again. It doesn't work. Like trying to get Matt LaFleur to sign your jersey.
You heard Tom Brady
Good point, Kyle.
as a championship quarterback versus Darrell Doucette.
And this guy's 5'8", 140 pounds.
I saw on my Twitter X timeline some clips of Darrell Doucette throwing a football.
Trash.
It is trash.
Oh,
it is high school quarterback, long wind up duck. Ugly.
So he throws like Kyle.
For real.
Hey,
it got me.
Think
Maybe
about
I'm trying out for the Olympics.
And imagine Kyle.
I'll be Matt Hamilton of this show. I got a chance. If he can play, I can play.
No, you can break dance.
No,
they're not bringing it back. Yeah. Well, we should all find one of those obscure sports in the LA Olympics to start training for.
Team USA football. I'm about to get in the best shape of my life.
What are you going to play? A position?
Backup corner? Nah, I'm not fast enough anymore. You know what? I'll put some weight on. Forget that. I'll snap the ball. We got to have a long snapper.
No. I'll snap the ball.
Hey.
How do they do that, I wonder, actually?
Nobody watches.
It's probably like a coach. Maybe I call the plays and go, here you go.
Fine, I'll coach the game. I just let me get a gold medal.
Yeah, you ain't making the team.
No, you ain't making the team.
I think I'm better than Darnell.
Yeah, you probably are. I don't think there's punting, or else I would actually give it an effort. A 38 at the young age of 38.
I would field punts at the Nortman Estate for you.
There you go. Punt returner. Dang. You guys can be punt returners. Just spare catch.
We're gonna be that old at the next Olympics?
Yeah, add 4 to whatever you are right now.
I'll be 36.
I'll be 38.
I don't even think I wanted to come anymore.
It's pretty old.
Goodness gracious.
You're gonna be 45. It's crazy. Chris, what do we got?
All right, one more here to wrap up already relevant. The Oklahoma State Cowboys football team apparently will be wearing QR codes on their helmets this season, linking to the general team fund to increase the program's name, image, and likeness money pool. This all from the same team that 2 days before this story was announced, the coach, Mike Gundy, publicly begged his players, do not ask for money because it's time to play football. And now simultaneously, the team is begging their fans, please send me money while watching the team play football. Apparently, I have that right. So apparently, public panhandling is necessary on the football field. And I for one, would not see like the Wisconsin Badgers doing this. This is just ridiculous. I don't even know how you can get your camera up to the.
I think it's for the TV.
It's for the TV, yeah, but I mean,
it's a moving target.
It's I saw a picture of it. So it's like you got like the stripe down the middle. It's literally on the back of the stripe. It disrupts the stripe.
Like it'd be above where the green dot would be for the quarterback.
Yeah,
above that.
It's an embarrassing look. This is basically like a college GoFundMe.
Yeah, the tipping culture has reached college football, apparently.
Hey, nice, Chris. I like that.
I'm all for this. I'm all for. If you think somebody's performing well and you want to give to them, I hope it's an individual QR code.
No, it's not. It's for the team.
They should have it. Literally, it should be.
No, that's a good idea.
It should be for the team, but it goes into a bucket that's controlled by the team, so you know what it is.
I would cover that QR code with my own Venmo.
Man, I mean, this is a great idea for those who want to give.
For me. At Dash Ben Brooks.
They should walk around with a QR code anytime they go
this
to
might backfire on them.
This is a brilliant idea individually. Because imagine, like, I'm not going to get much love as a punter, but you coughing corner one, that might be, hey, I'm going to give a punter.
And then you turn, look at the camera, pause, look at me.
We got breaking news, guys. Starting in 2025, jersey numbers will now be replaced by QR codes.
There you go.
On the teams.
That'd be great.
Well, they need better marketing, and we got companies for that.
Oh, we sure do. 3 Tree Marketing is your go-to marketing company when it comes to branded merchandise. Whenever you put your logo on anything merchandise, you got to think of 3 Tree. That's because they're going to help you, whether it be new teammates or business partners, specialized gifting, or onboarding kits. Their creative merchandising strategy is going to tell your company's story. I mean, your brand, your company, it's all about storytelling, right? You want to elicit the right feelings out of your customers, and 3 Tree Marketing is going to do that. You're going to be the envy of everyone else in specialized gifting. You'll be able to showcase what your brand is all about. Work with a team that thinks outside the box and becomes an extension of your team. 3 Tree Marketing can do all that and more. So set an appointment today at 3treemarketing.com.
Brad Nortman has a story about showering in the NFL. You're not going to want to miss it next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
When I'm, again, doing the Pack Arena, and as a shareholder, when I'm sizing up my ring,
do the Pack Arena right now.
1 pack of 2 pack of 3 pack Arena.
Hey.
What's the rest of the words? Jordan Love to Christian Watson. Nay, that's a touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We got some delays along southbound 41 coming in from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side, well, looks like we had an accident that was right at Burleigh that has just been taken off the freeway. Delays coming out of the zoo, though, all the way up to that point. We've also got this other accident on southbound 43 just south of Silver Spring. This is luckily off on the left shoulder behind the barrels, but still, we're seeing backups past that point all the way down to Capitol Drive, back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge. Traffic is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Book your fantasy football draft party for a free draft kit, free room rental, free appetizers, and more. Dave & Buster's, your ultimate fantasy football draft experience. Visit dnbparty.com to get started. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 60. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 80. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Freddie Coleman.
To me, it's just stuck on ignorance. SOI when it comes to Anthony Edwards saying that Michael Jordan was the only player back then who had skill. When Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Clyde Drexler, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon were roaming the basketball earth. And those are guys at the top of my head that I'm able to speak on right now. So to me, it's just completely ignorant to say something like that. But what else is also ignorant, and I'm not just trying to put Anthony Edwards in a box by himself, it always makes my ears bleed when I hear the older generation criticize the younger generation and the younger generation criticize the older generation. There's no need, in my opinion, to have that kind of discussion. If you want to say that you think your game is better back in the day or the game is better now, fine, so be it, if that's how you feel. But it's getting to the point now that anytime I hear that, I just turn away, I just look down at my feet and walk away.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, now is the time to beat the heat with a refreshing new shower or bath from Kohler Services. A family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0-interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're probably feeling that arthritic bone-on-bone joint pain right now as I'm saying this. Your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back. It's a sign to, hey, finally Get rid of that. You can live your life. You can enjoy this beautiful Wisconsin summer day. QC Kinetics is your avenue to give that dream a reality. That's right. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. It's the future of medicine. So that joint pain, knees, hips, shoulders, or back, it's going to go away when you work with my friends at QC Kinetics. They're going to employ their new cellular therapies and advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, and restore your mobility, giving you long-term relief, not short-term, long-term relief. Steroids, surgery, pain pills. Don't believe the lie that those are your only options. The cutting-edge treatments at QC Kinetics will give your body's own healing properties the ability to just do what they do, and that's heal so your joints so you can move again. QC Kinetics is the future of medicine. Call your local professionals at QC Kinetics now to get your life back. The consultation is free. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776. How do we get to showering stories with Brad Nortman?
Yeah, you guys think that I'm just like, I was some like wallflower. You
were.
Playing in the NFL.
You were.
No, I wasn't. I was cool. I was in with the guys.
How does this include the shower? You're setting up a story.
Okay, so anyway,
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace in the shower.
Somebody in pre-show asked, hey, do you think Cam Newton knew your name? I was like, come on, man. I played with him for 4 years.
Yeah.
And like our lockers were like 3 down from one another. So yeah, like Cam knew my name. And I was like, I've even showered with Cam. And I was like, ooh, that sounds weird. Let me give some backstory. Hey, what I'm talking about.
Very weird.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is the only time I showered with Cam. But
okay! Just tell us about the one time.
But it's the
Seem
only
very
time.
excited to have showered with another.
But it's the only time I showered.
Not
okay,
Lexi.
I was going to say, but it's the only time I showered alone with Cam, which is also true. This is coming out very strange. But let me just get to the story, okay? Anyway, if you remember back in like 2013, Cam got in a car accident in like December.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes, on the road.
Yep. So he flipped his truck and the whole thing, and kind of a shoulder injury.
Got a car crash on the road.
Yeah, on the road.
Yeah.
So Derek Anderson filled in for him for a couple games, and we were on our way to win the division. We were playing some important games coming up, so it was a big deal. And he was legitimately out for 2 games for a car accident. So that happened on like I don't remember what day exactly it happened, but on a Tuesday then. I was at the facility. Tuesday is traditionally the day off that you get throughout the week. So some guys would just not show up at the stadium at all, need some time away. I was the kind of guy that would show up and get one of my lifts in throughout the week. So I would show up and I would get some recovery and all that kind of stuff. There's maybe, depends on the team and the week and all that kind of stuff, but there's maybe 20 guys that filter through on a Tuesday, give or take. So I was one of them. So Cam was also there, and he was getting treatment on his injuries he sustained from the car accident. And I hadn't had an opportunity to talk to him since then. And after the car accident, I didn't add this in the story that I told him pre-show. He had this like long, like social post about like being grateful, like God's hand over him, looking forward to coming back, like all these things. It was like 2 paragraphs worth of commentary with him, like whatever, getting ready to go. So I read it. I liked it, of course. Gave my guy a like. One of the probably 100,000. I liked it. So anyway, I finish up my lift. I'm in the shower already. Just alone, guy alone in the shower in the facility, right? And it's like the showers are like a long like rectangle, okay? With the shower heads along the long sides of the rectangle. So I'm in there doing my thing, and Cam walks in. And he takes a shower on the other side of me, kind of like, if I'm in the middle, he's a little bit more toward the corner, but it's just the two of us. I was like, hey,
just the two of us.
You
make and make it if you try.
Just the two of us.
Shower in.
And
that's
anyway,
the best you've sounded.
Thank you. It's the story that's bringing it out of me. So I'm just showering there, and Cam walks in. I was like, hey, what's up, Cam? And he says, hey, what's up? And we're showering, and
that's weird.
And I'm thinking, well, what are you gonna do? It's 2 guys showering.
Yeah, that's not weird at all.
I just need to acknowledge you while I'm showering butt naked.
So
me and Frank Kaminsky would throw parties in the shower.
I'm sure
that might be a little different, but so Cam and I are showering, and I'm like, I haven't said anything about the car accident. I read your post. I'm thinking this. I was like, I should just say something.
Well, you're supposed to be washing your behind. You're thinking about what you're going to talk to Cam about in the shower while you're both naked.
Yeah, how can I connect with my teammate in this moment? That's what I was thinking.
Huh.
emotionally. And so I said to Cam, I was like, hey, Cam.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, Cam.
I love how you change. Hey,
Split. Come here. Hey, Cam. I was like, hey, Cam. I was like, hey, Cam. Hey, I read your post. Hey, just want to let you know, like, I'm glad you're doing good. And, like, you came away. It must have been real scary, man. And, like, I just want to know I'm praying for you. And, like, just this whole thing. It was like 45 seconds of me just being, like, all naked. Okay. Yeah. All naked in the shower, Kyle.
Keep your eyes up.
Yeah, you're looking in the eye. It's like 45 seconds of me being like, hey, Cam, like I'm happy for you, like all this kind of stuff. And he just looks at me and goes, hey, that's real talk. And he turns around to keep showering. I was like, okay, message delivered. Message delivered. And that was the one time.
What were you thinking when he just said, hey, real talk? Were you like, I'm cool, or I'm like, he doesn't like me?
I was like, okay. I was like, that went well.
Were you done at least?
Considering all the ways it could have went, that went well.
Were you done in the shower? Like, this is on your way out?
No, I was like 80% of the way through the shower.
How do you remember this shower so well?
Well, I remember
all the details. What percentage of the way through? He's like, I had my shins and feet to go.
I vividly remember then being like, because you're kind of like looking at each other as we're obviously talking, right? Generally speaking. So I remember saying all that, and then him looking at me like, hey,
what a moment!
This real talk, and I was like, okay. And I just turned around and kept showering and had to just rinse off a little bit. And
that's the last time Brad and Cam ever spoke.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all.
I think Cam
was
just
a very memorable moment.
Cam will still remember this conversation. He'll remember when this weird dude was showering with him. It's just them two. And while he's sitting there trying to shower and think about what's coming up next, you walked up to him butt naked and talked to him.
Can I tell you another shower story? I just remembered.
Sure, Brad. You got
or
so
should
many.
I save this? Should I save this one?
Hit us.
It's with, okay.
Make it quick because I want to hear from Balaga.
Okay, about 8 weeks into my rookie season, I was struggling. Okay, I was not punting the ball well, and I was like, dang, I might get cut. So I was like, I just hadn't found my rhythm, hadn't found my confidence, and I'm in the shower. The shower is just such a place of revelation, if you will.
Yeah, it is. Usually by myself.
Who walks in? Greg Olson. Greg Olson walks in, already an all-pro, just a stud, right? Guy, the leader of the team, look up to him. And he goes on this, like, 3-minute thing about how he's like, dude, I see you at practice. You're really good. You bomb the ball. You just gotta not give a dang. You just gotta get your confidence. Just let it rip, man. All the coaches, like, what they're telling you to do, forget about it. Just blast it. Like, and you just, like, literally this whole thing of, like, you got this. I'm not worried about you. Like, I know they're trying to make you, like, directionally punt and put you in a box. Forget that. Just let it rip. And I was like, okay, Greg. And then literally, even when our careers are over and we've ran into each other, he's like, hey, I take some credit for your career.
That's when the B-52 bomber arrived.
So the reason I remembered that is because you said Cam would remember that conversation. Greg would remember that conversation because he still brings it up to me. He says, I should deserve credit for your career because I'm the one that breathed confidence into you.
So you deserve no credit for Cam Newton and his career?
I deserve
or making sure he bounced back.
He needed that. He needed that moment. He needed me to tell him, thank you for that post. I support you. I'm your teammate. All is good.
All I remember from showering at the University of Wisconsin is the soap was so bad that we had to take extra shampoo and conditioner from the hotel rooms on the road to bring them back to use in the showers.
That was college athletics in our day.
I really
seriously. Now they probably have like all these brand deals and it's all over the locker room.
You all have better experiences in the shower. Like when you go to the grave, these aren't the best stories you have from a shower. I hope not.
Oh no, I've got great stories. I've had great memories.
Yeah,
hanging out with the teammates.
Very, very interesting place.
So teammate, not significant others, but teammates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. We're talking teammates.
You get to know each other a little better. Brian Balaga.
Well.
Let's see if he's got anything for us next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
I'm a seam head now. You can call me whatever you want.
Oh, seam head.
I don't even know what that is.
That means I'm a baseball dork. All I do is sit and watch MLB Big Inning at night.
Head.
I've never heard that before.
This is because you're not a seam head.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. All the big plays.
Rush, left field, way back, gone.
Every single week.
Here's the pitch from Abreu. Oh, he drilled him on the shoulder, and the benches are starting to clear.
Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio happens right here.
In there, and that does it. History victory in the desert.
Tune in for baseball's biggest matchups here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming on the Wisconsin On Demand app.
The Gridiron Developmental Football League National Championship is coming. On Saturday, August 31st, the Racine Raiders take on the Upstate Predators from New York. Don't miss out on your chance to enjoy real football for an affordable family rate. Buy your tickets now at gridironbowl2024.com. It's Gridiron Bowl 15. Kickoff from historic Horlick Field in Racine happens at 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 31st. That's gridironbowl2024.com for ticket and event info.
Don't put your life on hold to earn a degree. Lakeland University has a long history of making students' dreams come true. Since 1862, build a schedule that meets your needs with options for 7 and 12-week courses, evening classes, and the ability to join classes remotely. Lakeland University is Wisconsin's leader in evening and online education. They have a main campus in Sheboygan County and 6 centers throughout the whole state. Lakeland University. Affordable, quality, flexible. Find out your next steps at info.lakeland.edu.
It's still summer in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc has you covered for fun in the sun. From bike nights to Saturday rides, or maybe just some retail therapy like a new motorcycle, or just a little something for yourself, there's always something going on. Check out Wisconsin Harley-Davidson at wishd.com and like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at wishd.com. Don't just see the world, feel it right here, right now. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
A.J. Dillon missed the final month of last season after suffering a stinger against the Vikings. He's now suffering the same injury after getting hurt in the joint practice against the Broncos, which forced him to miss the preseason game last weekend. Head coach Matt LaFleur isn't taking any chances with his backup running back.
I think anytime you have a repeated injury, absolutely there's a concern, but I think we're being cautious with him and just making sure we gather all the information before we let him go back out there.
The Packers take on the Baltimore Ravens in a joint practice today before their preseason tilt on Saturday.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
First time building your own nest? Call Tri-City. We'll do the rest. Our hometown lenders will put you at ease. Your home building process will be a breeze. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in
Before Brian Balaga joins us, we got to give you an opportunity to have a great time at a great event. And right now is your chance to see Third Eye Blind on Saturday, August 31st at Potawatomi Casino Hotel as part of their Amplified concert series. Let's go with caller number 8 to ESPN Milwaukee's talk and text line, 800-990-3776. You get a 4-pack of tickets to see Third Eye Blind. Full contest rules are at ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Third Eye Blind, August 31st at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. If you like them, you get a 4-pack. It's going to be awesome for anyone who could win. 800-990-3776. That's 800-990-3776. Brian Balaga joining us here on Kyle Brust Nortman now. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. Brian, we learned that Brad's career was saved by Greg Olson in the shower telling him to let loose, stop listening to the coaches, and just bomb the ball. Did you have any life-changing conversations in the shower?
That's an interesting story. It's a great story. That careers were saved in the shower. I mean, that's fantastic. But no, I did not have anything like spectacular like that happen to me while showering after a practice or a workout or something like that. But that's great.
Yeah,
great to hear.
You're just getting physically cleansed and emotionally cleansed, Brian, is what it comes down to. But so yesterday we had on the show Michelle Smallman from Unsportsmanlike, and she is, of course, alongside Chris Canty and Evan Cohen on the morning show across ESPN Radio Unsportsmanlike. And Michelle is going through a bachelorette of sorts, trying to put her fandom with a new franchise, and she's narrowed it down to 6 teams, Green Bay Packers being one of them. She was on the show yesterday. We gave her a good pitch to maybe have the Green Bay Packers.
Slight added context for Brian. She is from St. Louis, and the way that they were ripped out of her heart from that city is a reason why she's trying to find a team.
So you played for the Green Bay Packers, had an illustrious career. If you were talking to Michelle right now, why would you tell her that she deserves and she should be the one to hop on the Green Bay Packer bandwagon? What makes being a fan of the Green Bay Packers so great?
Well, I mean, I think, listen, I got a lot of friends that are Bears fans where I'm from, and I always tell people you got to be a fan of someone. Doesn't matter who it is. I get if it's not a great franchise or the team has been good, but I think if you're trying to convince someone to be a Green Bay Packer fan, when you think of NFL football, like that's the first team that comes to mind. It was the first Super Bowl winner, obviously. Like there's so much history that dates back to when the NFL actually became a thing. And it's got Green Bay Packers stamped all over it. I mean, the trophy that is named after the legendary Vince Lombardi. There's so many things that the NFL and Green Bay Packers they're just tied in together. And obviously, for me, Lambeau Field is the cathedral of the NFL. It's the best stadium in the NFL. I feel like the game day experience, talking to a bunch of friends that obviously came to Green Bay to watch me play, said it's the best experience they've had, and like how great everybody is, even if you're wearing Bears colors or Vikings colors. So I just think it's if you look at the franchise as a whole from when it started till now, it's the best run. It's owned by no billionaire owner that pulls the strings. It's community owned, community based. I think it's just the best overall franchise to me, and how it's run and what it means to a little community when we're looking at all these other big cities and what it means to a community. And to me, it's just the best franchise in sports, and that's where I'm at with it.
Clip it.
Yep.
Clip it.
Beautifully
Send
said,
it.
Brian.
Michelle has no choice but to be a Green Bay Packer backer. But really quickly, though, Brian, with the Green Bay Packers' performance today in the joint practice against the Baltimore Ravens, do you think we see the Packers starters on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there, but everything I've been reading on Packers Twitter and people that were there and were reporting on it seemed to be pretty positive about what happened out there. It seemed like a lot of the periods went smoothly, offense and defense, which needed to happen based on the practice that took place in Denver. So if I had to take a guess based on everything that's coming out of this joint practice, I'm going to guess no. I think that was the kind of the gauge of what LaFleur was going to do was based on today. If they were asleep at the wheel again today like they were in Denver, yeah, I think they'd be going out there. But it doesn't sound like that was the case. It sounds like the guys were sharp. There was a lot of, positive plays on both sides of the ball that you want to see. And when you go against a great opponent like Baltimore, they're going to be a playoff team. You want to see how your team competes. If you're going to be a playoff team, when playoff teams come in for these things, you want to be able to compete and show out well, and it sounds like they did. So if I had to take a guess, I would say that majority of starters will be sitting for the final game.
Brian Balaga joining us here on Kyle Bruston Nortman, leading up to the Homer Hour, which is coming to you shortly. And Brad's full of ideas today, let me tell you.
Brian, I said that if I was the Green Bay Packers, I would trade one of their 4 great wide receivers for Justin Tucker. It's such a need. You need to have a great elite kicker, to have literally the best kicker of all time on your roster to fill that void, and you still got 3 great receivers left over. The Kansas City Chiefs, the model for a dynasty, they let Tyreek Hill walk away, and they made their kicker the highest paid kicker in NFL history. What say you? Is that crazy?
Listen, I'm never going to understate the importance of a clutch kicker. I mean, Tucker is, I would imagine statistically he's probably the top 3 kickers of all time. I think if we're looking at this thing. True. You're going to get one of the best players to ever do it in his position. But I guess my question is, how much longer is he going to do it for? How much longer does he want to do it for? That's the one thing. If you're trading away potentially a great wide receiver, a young wide receiver, and acquiring an older kicker, you're not quite sure how long he wants to continue to do it. I mean, obviously, he's got the leg strength to go on for a long time. And, obviously, we see kickers play well into their 40s if they're studs. So I don't know if I'm all on board for it.
Who would you trade?
Oh, my gosh.
Eric Stokes?
I don't know. I'm not even getting into it because it's such a not realistic thing.
Yes. That's a no. He's on.
All right, then hit me with this one. Here's another poll question that we had today. If you can guarantee a win this year, week 1 against the Eagles or week 18 against the Bears, what are you taking?
Week 1.
Oh, wow. Man. That was against the grain. You have 30 seconds to explain why before the Homer Hour.
Because I'm hoping by the last week of the season, we're already clinched up and we're good to go. So it don't matter.
All right, powerful. Powerful. He didn't even need 30 seconds. That's Brian Balaga. He's a Packer backer. He bled the green and gold. We got our pitch to Michelle Schmalman, and he's coming up next with Homer, as they are every Thursday. It's the Homer Hour from 5 to 6 right here, 94.5 ESPN, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. In 2 minutes. Oh, baby, don't go anywhere.
We got some delays along southbound 40.